The people that were saying that liking it made you transgender were the same people that are saying we're putting chemicals in the water to make the fucking frogs gay. So take their word with a grain of salt. Just saying. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. So I'm gonna talk about lolicon. Yay! Not exactly my favorite topic to discuss. If you watch my stuff, you can get an idea from the thumbnails. I am not exactly a fan of this kind of art. I would much rather I'd much rather debate it myself on stream, but hey, we're going to cover a debate. I'm going to be covering a debate Q&A, I guess, as requested by Revy's husband 343, like them specifically. Dante's Rant Room is the one that hosted this, and well, I mean, I've covered one of their videos previously. I was not a fan. Also, hello, welcome in. And also, I will say that it's not literally CP. It is, unfortunately, art. Oh, also, I haven't watched this yet, but I have checked out the comments a little, and, well, sound warning.
Alright guys, welcome to Dante's Rant Room, and I am your host Dante. We are back with another video. You already know the spiel, I gotta say it over and over again. Y'all know how I gets down, right? So we are finally here to talk about lolly and anti-lollies, okay? The biggest controversial topic in the anime community. This has been heavy for a while now, and I've been curious about this topic too. Ruby King, our embracement. Okay, guys, it'll be civil. These gentlemen here have promised that they'll be as civil as possible, and hopefully they're men of their words and keep it that way. Okay, I'm not here on either side. I'm neither anti or pro lolly. I'm here to just do what I gotta do. Okay, so
Yeah, apparently he's too close to his mic. That's all we're really going to go on with that quality.
with that being said, your mic is bad. Oh, too loud. Oh, my bad, guys. My bad. You're too close to the mic. My bad. So yeah. Before we kick things off, guys, introduce yourselves.
What's good, everybody? I'm Digital Overlord. I make anime content. I've been watching anime for the longest time ever. Real talk.
Okay, cool. And
Okay.
let's see. My Dante.
Oh, your mic is better, bro. Now.
Oh,
That
it's
is
like
much
100%
Thank you.
better.
All right, cool. My bad, guys. My bad. Thanks for
Yeah,
telling me
definitely.
that. Let's see, Mr. Anime.
Okay, it did kind of sound like it was using like the wrong microphone, like instead of going to his. Did he just get closer? Yeah, I have no idea. It did sound like it was coming out of the webcam mic instead of his like actual microphone that he records with.
Introduce yourself to the people. That's what you got.
Whoa, man, this is actually pretty freaking good. I mean, it's such a shame that, Kentaro Miura passed away. I mean, this was such a freaking awesome piece of artwork, and I really love how Guts is actually drawn here. Oh, hey there! I didn't see you there for a second. For anyone who doesn't know me or is new to either my channel or Dante's, or even Digital Overlord himself, my name is Roman, aka Mr. Anime 343. I've been a fan of anime since 1996, so... And, I've been a YouTuber since 2019. So, and I'll be actually, debating for the pro loli side.
All right, cool. Let's see. Before we kick things off,
What? What was that point of the Berserk stuff? Like, yeah, it was bad that the mangaka died, but I felt sad. I even joined the Final Fantasy 14 vigil on that. But like, was that like some kind of show of coolness? I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, upfront with you guys. No lie. Straight up with you guys. I am neither pro nor anti-lolly. Okay. My stance is this. To be fair to all of you viewers, I listen. I get lolly is fiction. Everyone has a right to dislike or like it. I think I understand how people may not like lolly content, but to me, I think it's fictional. but I also don't go crazy over lolly. It's not really my thing, but I get the dislike, I get the like. That's why I'm just in between. I've been making videos for about a year and a half, maybe going on 2 years by at this point, and I've been watching anime for 15 plus years. Okay, but I never knew how bad the discourse over lolly was up until I started making videos. So, with that being said, I wanted to know just
Oh yeah, people get very, very vitriolic over their cute anime girls.
how crazy it was. I wanted to literally pick the minds of those who are pro or anti. That way, they could kind of defend or just tell me why things are the way they are. Okay. Um,
Obviously, it ain't nothing but a heartache.
that being said, we're gonna kick this off. A bunch of Q and A. I'm gonna show a few videos, and if you guys want to show whatever video you guys want, that's fine. Okay, just let me know,
Right.
and I will share the videos. Okay, so let's get this started. Not waste any of you guys' times. Let's jump right into today's topic. Okay, first question. Mr. No, actually, let's be fair to Digital Overlord. My first time meeting you. I've known Anime 343 for a little while. So, Digital Overlord, your first question is this: what is a lolly?
Basically, a lolly is like a 100-year-old like girl and everything. Like, can be a vampire or anything like that. And on top of that, here's the thing: what people need to understand. I'm going to be real with it. There is lolly in anime. You can't stop that. However,
Right.
I don't like lolicon. Lolicon is not anime. It's hentai, and it's
That also doesn't quite define it. Are you going to actually define it, Digital Overlord? Or just your dislike of it?
hentai that shouldn't be drawn by anybody, whether it's fake or anything you want to call that. And I've been like really skeptical about this in the anime community because it's not even complicated. It's hentai. You can't like debate that. It's straight up porn.
Straight up porn. Okay, cool. So, you believe that even if you let's say for example, I'm not taking sides. Just ask because let's say for an anime like Kobayashi Dragon Maid, where there are lollies there, would you say those particular characters deserve to be in a hentai, or what is your stance on it? Because not all lollies.
No,
are
no,
hentai.
that no, that's basically that's an anime. Anytime what you basically do when there's and when there's a little girl like sucking basically a banana, or like when you're licking the tangerine, that's qualified as pornography, and that's a hentai, and that goes.
That's not. It's categorized as sexually suggestive, but it's not actually pornographic. That's why they do it in the animes. Because it's suggestive, not explicit. The explicit part is what makes it more of the porn, the hentai. But like, to be clear, I'm kind of working off the framework that lolly is the shorter, the petite style people that act naive and cute and youthful, and it's odd to me. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but art is art. Do what you will.
Goes in the hentai category. Whether or not you make commissions of that character, of anime, or anything like that, it's still hentai, and that's what they need to understand.
Okay, Mr. Anime 343, what are you guys? What are your thoughts? What is lolly?
Well, lolly, as you should know, is actually a type of is a body type for a certain character. It can actually be short, petite, like freaking Hana Uzaki from Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, because she counts as like a lolly type, but she's actually known as a short stack because of her tatas.
Okay.
So let me ask you.
Hold on. Over there. Are you done? Anime 343. That's your definition of lolly. That's it.
Or it depends on like what type of lolly it is. I mean, there are different variations.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and I would also like to point out that there is the difference of lolly and lolicon. Lolly being the body type, lolicon being the explicit, not safe for work art of such body types.
Cool. Now, with that being said, you both have.
And the people that enjoy it.
You guys have both answered the question, and I do see both of you guys' points. Digital Overlord, I may disagree with certain things. I do think lollies.
Uzaki is not a lolly. Just in case, I don't even know who it is. I searched Uzaki-chan wa Asobaita. Her? Is this the character he was referencing? 'Cause I would definitely not call her a lolly. She might be short, but is that just what what make a lolly short and cute. No, I think it's a little more than that. If anybody does know the actual character they're talking about, please hit me up in case, like, you know, in case I'm wrong.
Can be in all forms of animation in Japan.
Yeah, that
There's
character?
just anime or hentai, but I do
Hmm.
see where you're talking about where you say you see a lot of lolly in hentai, which is very true. You do see a lot of lollies in hentai. I admit to that. But I do
Oh my god, you can't go to like any database without seeing that there. It's like, oh, oh my god, even AI art's getting too prolific in there.
think that lollies can be part of anime and hentai,
Oh.
as they're both anime, but they're two
It-
different forms of anime.
It is. I'm not saying. I'm basically saying what lolly basically is in anime. You can't stop that. I'm basically saying taking the characters that are not even sexualized at all, like a character Eri from My Hero Academia, and then literally sexualizing it up and then being like so inappropriate to it, making it a hentai, and still saying it's an anime. No, it's
Oh, dude, what? Like, it's of an anime character, but it's usually non-canon art of said character within a pornographic style, which would make it the hentai. It's like, wow, this guy is speaking for Andes. Oh my god.
a hentai. Then come on,
Okay.
bro.
All right, cool. Now you guys, you have a minute and a half to go ahead and disagreements. Please go ahead, go all out. Whatever you got to say, just say it out, and then after a minute and a half, we'll go to the next question. Go.
All
Have
right,
any
so
disagreements?
let me.
Yeah, I
let
kind
me
of
ask-
actually sort of have to disagree with this. Okay, go ahead.
Mhm.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't fully know why it's called lolly and lolicon. I had heard talk of that one book, but then I've also been told it's unrelated to the book Lolita. It's just people trying to draw connections there. But like yeah, if you can fill me in on the etymology, go right ahead.
Let me ask you this question. Be real with me right now. So Boku no Pico, do you consider that an anime or hentai?
That one is explicitly hentai.
Actually, it is hentai, even though it's actually considered shotacon, because people are actually mostly vocal towards lolis, but they don't actually mention anything about shotas.
Then why did you say on your Twitter that
They also argue that it's pedophilia to enjoy it, but then they don't focus on what actually leads to actual child harm, like, the Catholic Church. That's the actual problem here, not anime pictures.
you consider it an anime and you gave it like a high score? Were you trolling?
Yeah. Besides, I actually do happen to have some taste in like certain types of anime and like hentai and stuff like that.
But it's
So,
not. But you
basically-
already said it's a hentai. But you said on your Twitter that it's an anime.
It can be both. Let's look at Blue Seed, for example. That leans closer to anime, but it does have nudity and, if I'm not mistaken, some sexual stuff. I haven't watched it in forever. I just know I saw titties as a teenager, and my parents didn't like that I did. But they weren't even around or aware that I had watched it. They got mad when I told them I watched it years later. But then there's also other stuff that are explicitly, we're making this for the plat, 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 plat. But then they also add story to it. They add character and sometimes character development. But holy shit, is that rare? It's mostly just there for the plat, 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 plat. I mean, that's what the porn industry broadly does. It doesn't really focus much on story. You got to go to the indie stuff for that. Then it gets better.
Oh, yeah. Basically, I actually really have to agree with hentai is an adult animated content because
Yep.
we do actually have to have certain types of tastes and stuff like that. But you got to understand. Just remember this: Rule 34 means if something does exist on the internet, there's a porn of it.
Right.
In fact,
Oh.
you can't stop the hentai artists from actually like looting up like certain characters. But if you're gonna make it based off of a real life child, that's where I draw the line.
So Why do you write fanfics about Sadara getting, I read some of your fanfics that someone showed me. It was really sus, bro. Since Sadara's, hold on. Sadara's a kid, and you know that from Boruto. You know exactly what I'm talking
Whoa,
about.
okay. Basically, let me just actually, counteract this little point here. She is a fictional character.
She is.
Fictional character. She does
is.
not have a freaking body. I mean, she does not actually exist in our world. She just doesn't actually exist.
Okay, so answer me. Okay, but answer me this question.
It really sounds like he's defending a fanfic he wrote about an underage character, which is pretty sus. It's like it's not literally harming any children. It's just sus. That's all we can really say about it. It's kind of indicative of mindsets, but I play violent video games. I don't go out and murder people. I use violent video games as a outlet for those kinds of emotions. So I'm gonna bet that's where they're coming from this.
Are you writing manga, or are you just writing pornographic manga?
Well, you think that
The term is doujinshi.
fan fiction writing is actually considered freaking?
I mean, I read half of your chapters, and all it just seems is just like a whole bunch of I want to do this with her. I want to do this. I want to lick her tangerine.
No, dude. I just actually like to freaking. I usually like to actually kind of scare off the anties a bit, like freaking Moculus and Bader.
I mean, you do realize they're anime fans too, right?
I wouldn't really call them freaking anime stands. I actually call them tourists.
How are they?
They
how
really
are they
are.
tourists? Really? So do you think I'm a tourist, bro?
All I'm saying is, if you're actually,
You know
there's actually
what this
other.
All right, guys, real quick. You guys have 1 more minute to argument, and we'll go to the next question. Go.
Okay, so basically, I understand that that there's other anime outside like the shonen sphere, outside of seasonal, and outside of popular anime, but those don't get any love at all.
Tell me this, bro. Tell me this. What actually brought anime to America? Because I'm not going to tell you nothing. If you don't know this, then you really don't know nothing about anime. What actually brought it to America the first time in the 90s?
Gundam, right?
Answer the question, and that's it. Go.
Okay, so basically, what brought anime is basically they actually exported it from Japan and brought it here to America to see if it could actually catch any interest within American audiences.
What did they started with? What company came out first?
I don't remember off the top of my head. So basically, I actually used to watch.
What?
Answer the question. Digital Overlord, if you want to.
Manga Entertainment. You don't remember that? You don't remember that in the 90s where we had Ninja?
This dude looks like about my age, and by this dude I mean, well, fuck, Digital Overlord seems younger than me. Oh my god, Joe, I agree so much.
Squirrel, Bayaboo, Starber, Guyver, Pat Labor. Should I keep going?
All right, guys, that was a great listen, guys. Awesome. My 2 cents. Digital Overlord.
What was his point there? What, honestly, what was that point? I'm really grasping. I have no idea what he actually meant by that. Like, why bring up the originals? I don't know.
You guys make great arguments. I would say I don't think where manga started or anime started in the West has anything much to do with the topic at hand. To be honest, it's my 2 cents. But
Oh my god, I agree with Dante.
I'll admit I didn't know the answer to that question. But I didn't know the answer to that question.
I just wanted him to see if he knows. That's all.
Right, but I don't think that was relevant to the question or the topic at hand. Just to be fair to Mr. Anime 343, but Anime 343, guys, good argument. But I do want to ask the anti-lolly. Actually, let me go pro. I went anti first time. Why do you believe? This is for Anime 343. Why do you believe liking lollies doesn't make you a P-file? Go.
Ooh, doesn't make you directly a pedophile. I will give him the fictional, you're not actually harming the children thing. Like no actual children are being harmed. It's just it's there's such a culture, so to speak, of it doesn't matter when clearly people do get really upset over this. A lot of people have their issues with it. Some people see the art as glorifications of past things that happened to them that they don't want to remember. And then there are other people that see it as a way of taking control of that, giving themselves control of the situations that they were forced into. It's not a direct harm thing. It's just something that people argue with over time and time again.
Basically, how I see this is, like I said, these are fictional characters. They're not based off of real life people, because you see, when you got people like Shadman basing like characters like off of Keemstar's daughter, or like off of real life people, that's
Yeah, holy shit, Shadman, don't ever come back to anything. Go away.
where I draw the line. Because you see, freaking, we got all these people that are actually trying to actually say, oh, anime. If you actually like watching hentai, if you like watching underage anime girls, then you're a freaking pedophile. Basically, that is a huge ass lie that has zero freaking evidence.
Okay. What do you say? What do you say to people? What do you say to people who think that actually watching? Now, I'm not talking about underage. I know lolicon can go to whether there are adults who look like they're younger, but they're 5,000-year-old dragon and stuff like that. But what do you say to people who think that watching a 5,000-year-old dragon who has a petite figure, who thinks that if you watch that content, they are pedophiles? What do you got? What are your personal thoughts of that? What do you think about that?
I would actually say, are you even planning on helping actual kids in need? Because basically, these people, they don't ever care about actual kids. 9 times out of 10.
So what's your solution to reducing child harm? That's what I'm curious about.
Are you referring to like everybody that doesn't care about kids, or are you just saying like in general, like the people that are just honestly going after you?
I think most people in this discussion, broadly, not just these two, I think most people don't actually care. Most people actually don't talk about where most of that harm, the actual harm to children, comes in. The majority of places that it happens being the Catholic Church, schools, and the home. It's usually somebody that already knows the kid. It's not some random person that just likes anime, despite how fucking creepy I think it is.
No, I'm just saying this in general, because basically, when you see these people, they don't really actually help actual kids. Because whenever I do like lolicon videos, I usually link nonprofit organizations to help actual kids in need get away from predators.
Okay. All right. So, Digital, what are your thoughts?
Okay, that is a good thing. But we still gotta talk about the root of the problem, not just applying a band-aid solution to a very broad, very serious problem.
About Lolly, why do you think that people?
Isn't he basically moving the goalpost? I don't know if it's moving the goalpost, but it does feel kind of like a pivot. Like, what do you think about the people that call you a pedophile? Well, I link to actual services that help kids get away from abusive situations. Like, okay, that's good. But that doesn't really address the question.
People who watch Lolly could be considered as pedophiles. Do you think that, or
mostly how I see it in my point of view, right? Again, what I mean by this, Lolly is wrong in anime. You can't stop that. I'm saying if you basically like make lolicon, that to me is considered like CP, even though it's like drawing, it's a cartoon character, whatever. If you like basically get a commission artist to draw Sadara, who's about like a child, and that's a child, and it's not even like a lolly character. She's literally a child. Look at like Eri, who's a child from My Hero Academia. Why does she need to be sexualized? She's not even like that at all. Like My Hero Academia is not
because most people aren't actually attracted to the age of the character, it's the character themselves, and a lot of people just kind of instinctually don't think about it. And like, I've had a lot of people, hell, even in my server, drop stuff like you shouldn't sexualize this one specific character because their name is explicitly, or because their age is explicitly 16. And then they go and post hentai of a different character that they don't realize is also 16. They just don't look into it enough, and they just get triggered over the petite bodies. For me personally, I'm less bothered by characters that actually act like adults, act fairly mature. Like, I got less problem with people making hentai out of Rebecca from Cyberpunk because she acts like an adult. I got more problem with the people that sexualize the 5,000-year-old dragon that looks like a kid, that acts like a kid. It's not actually pedophilia or child porn, for fuck's sakes, but it is a sort of depiction of it. That's what I think. It's not literally it, but it's still trending in that direction. It's nothing that you can legalize over, like how small a titty before the FBI breaks in. You can't really legislate art, unfortunately, no matter how much we disagree with it.
Nothing like that. And so it doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, why try to defend it? And it's just like automatically just say that, okay, you like hentai and you say lolicon is hentai. That's basically it. It's not complicated.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So if a character who is not in the story under the age, because in Japan the rules of
it's now 16 now.
Yeah, is it 16 or no?
16.
Yeah,
It's
it's actually
16 now.
16.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
16 now. Yeah.
16 and above in Japan can marry, do whatever they want, and I respect the culture. We don't have to agree with it, but that's their culture.
No,
right?
I understand that.
So if an anime character is, say, 16 in anime, right, and you're drawing a character in a lolly type animation, do you still consider that to be a pedophilia or not?
Basically, let me explain it again. Anytime there's basically, how am I going to say it like as best as I can? Anytime there's basically like, them like sucking a banana, or you're basically they're licking that or anything like that. Anytime like that where there's basically boning or anything like that, that's
Right.
basically considered hentai. If
Yeah,
it's just basically a lolly character.
The only people that consider it hentai are the people that are very puritanical in their views of sex. Like, they're not very sex positive. And this dude is giving me those kinds of vibes that he's not very open about sex and sexuality. Like, I get that there's problems, or that it's awkward. That's just how they want to. Like, that's just how they want to legally or safely put a lolly genre. And how legal lolly is born old enough, but girl with small build as a kid. I'm confused by that. But I mean, there are people with that legitimate body type, and like, do they deserve representation too? I really hate that lolly is a more nuanced topic than I actually would like. But God damn it, some people are just so dumb.
Character and she's not being or anything like that, then that's basically how it is. I mean, and look at Clan from Dragon Ball. She's not a lolly, she's a kid, and she's just drawn like that. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of anime is.
And yet there are people that would actually most definitely call Pan from Dragon Ball GT a lolly, because from my understanding, lolly wasn't explicitly about the age, it was about the body type. There have been lots of people that call Pan lolly.
Drawn with lolly. It's just I don't like the lolicon, which basically means when they take characters and just sexualize them to death. Like the girl from Spy X Family. Come on, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, bro, that's an anime. It's not in hentai. and just taking that character and just over sexualizing her is just beyond ridiculous.
Oh, you talk about Anya,
Yeah,
the little girl? Oh,
Anya,
okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
Anya, yeah, Anya. Just think about it for a second. They literally take not safe for work photos and just draw her nasty and everything. So I was like, dude, come on, this is an anime, and she's not even sexualized that at all. She's a child. So you got to have some standards. And I know they're going to say, it's just a drawing. It's just a drawing. Why do they get turned on so much by little girls being seriously, dude? Doesn't make any sense.
All right, and anime.
I do kind of see where he's coming from. Like, it's not literally CP, but it is depicting at least what aesthetically looks like it, or at least, yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, legal lolly is born by beginning with the media criticism for that lolly genre should not be allowed in Japan, so they are just called them legal lolly. Oh, so that's when they started shifting to the 5,000-year-old dragon, so they're always above the age of consent. Okay.
And digital, you have 2 minutes to debate. Go. Any questions?
All right,
answers?
so basically, all I gotta say to this is, if I know that people can find it disgusting, or deplorable, or like degenerative.
Yeah, like Shota Emperor, yeah, like Konata from Lucky Star, where she was actually 18 but looked the youngest of the group.
But one thing you should never actually tell someone is that they're a straight up pedophile for liking, fictional content that doesn't require actual kids getting harmed. Okay? If, like I usually say, if it's actually based on a real kid, that's where we draw the line. We have to stand for, actual kids, because, you got the LGBT problem going on where they're actually harming actual kids. And
what the fuck is that argument?
Trying to actually get them into like sexual situations.
What do you mean by that?
Assault
real teens? What do you mean by that?
Oh my god, this guy really shouldn't have asked me to go over this debate. This guy is such a fucking moron. Oh my god.
Like, how, like, whenever Pride Month rolls around, they actually have, like, people, like, adults actually stripping down naked and, twerking in front of kids. Oh, God, that freaking aggravates me. I really can't stand that.
Digital, what are your thoughts?
You see?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to bring it up or anything like that, but something like that did happen, at Boston, which was really messed up. And some of the times, like, not all of these people are bad, not all of them, and honestly, it all depends, because, some individuals can be decent, and some of them, can get away with a lot of things. For instance, Ezra Miller,
Oh my god, they're both anti-queer? Cool. So, like, just to nip this one in the fucking butt, no, we're not trying to sexualize kids, no matter what sensationalist media you consume. We don't want to trans your kids. We want your trans kids to survive. I've known that I haven't been in line with all the guys since I was very young. And if I just had that language when I was younger, my life would be a million times better right now. Hell, I'd still have nice big tits. But no, a lot of these people have just fallen for the narrative of they're coming for your kids when no, that's not the broad push. We're just trying to give people the access to live as they are. We don't actually fucking brainwash people over it. Oh my god.
Miller. Yeah, we're not gonna talk.
Well.
All right, I'll give you that one. You guys make great arguments. I do agree that
Also, if you're unaware, the last video of Dante, the rant room that I covered, was him calling an all ages drag show essentially pedophilia, saying it was pushing sexuality on kids. It's a dude in a Sailor Moon costume.
my whole situation with Lolly.
If you debate about Japanese stuff, you need the OG source. That person for that, like Japanese otaku. What? I mean, two white guys can still talk about their opinions on whatever. They're allowed to have their opinions on whatever, but it would help to have like knowledgeable voices in the conversation. Oh my god.
Is this, before I continue with the questions and answers, right?
Yeah,
Is that I'll agree that there are certain people on the internet, mostly Twitter and TikToks, right, who typically go after lolly content. And like I said, I'm not taking sides here, but people who typically go after lolly content, lolicons, they don't seem to be in much of a they don't go crazy over actual real life situations where kids are being trafficked and stuff like that. I feel as though more energy be spent on actually helping, assisting, and
The biggest thing with CSA is not kids getting trafficked. It's people with power over the kids taking advantage of them, usually a priest.
maybe even supporting, you know, organizations
Yeah,
that could, people who could actually help save kids that are being trafficked around the country, around the world. I don't.
That's what they're doing right now. There's a movie called The Sound of Freedom, and what they're actually doing.
Oh my god. No. No, I'm no.
They're like tweeting it to everybody, like giving free tickets away to tell everybody to go see this movie to stop child trafficking. That's what that movie is all about, to stop child trafficking.
I agree, and I agree. It's getting a lot of negative press from would be media because they get some QAnon nonsense, right? But be that as it may, I feel as though that instead of Twitter and TikToks going ham over fictional characters like Anime 343 says, and I agree with him 100% on that point. People should focus their strength and energy in supporting real life kids that are being trafficked. Now, like I said, I understand lolicon can be a little if
Church.
Okay, I get it.
I mean, point of blank, lolicon is hentai. Whether people like it or not, that's the truth.
Now let's.
Isn't that like the actual definition? Lolicon is the hentai and the hentai enjoyers of lolly characters.
No, I'm gonna piggyback off that question. Anime 343 is lolicon hentai. What are your thoughts?
Actually, how I see it, lolis can either be say-so or, hentai. Because whenever you see lolis and lolicons, you don't have to have sexuality towards lolicons. You can just like them just as being, wholesome, being, just what they are.
I wonder if any of them are going to mention a lot of they've talked a lot about shit talking the anti-lollies and how they react to stuff, but like I've seen, obviously I'm not going to show what I'm about to say on stream, but like lolicon and hentai is different. I don't have any definitive definition. I think I was going off of Urban Dictionary. But what I find often overlooked is the amount of lolicon defenders that will defend it when somebody says, like, I've literally seen a tweet of, you guys shouldn't be posting lolly, it's triggering for what happened to me as a kid kind of thing. And then a lot of people have been, well, they put elementary school teacher in their bio and then tweet a bunch of lolly. Usually when they drop those replies, it's not very say-so to speak. I'm not gonna pull up stuff because it gets fairly explicit, but I do feel like it's a very, very common way of people defending the art rather than actually engaging with the points.
Doesn't actually have to be anything that requires sexuality to be considered a lolicon. I mean, heck, have you actually noticed that Gargura is a no lolicon?
The comment section. So go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So let me ask this.
I thought Gargura was a lolly, not necessarily a lolicon, despite the fact that she has retweeted Not Safe for Work stuff of her OC. Because, like, I figure she was just playing a character for, the agency that she works for and retweeting art.
Your friend JX Senpai for or whatever, right? I mean, like I've seen a bunch of his stuff, and it just seems like a whole bunch of like, fictional characters, but like little girls, getting it, what. But at the end of the day, do you consider that anime, or do you consider that hentai?
Loli is just a genre in Japanese pop culture or otaku culture, what they call for small girls. Okay. Also, for reference, I have been going off of like definitions and stuff set by Depressed Nusagi. That's where I got a fair amount of small boy for kids is called Shota. Yeah. Lollies, small girl, Shota, small boy.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'd actually consider it ecchi.
Oh yeah, like I've covered at least one or two videos regarding the trope itself. Yeah, that we're in agreement there. Gura is a lolly.
Anime, because that's actually borderline. But
No, it's not.
he's actually censoring it.
Okay.
He's not censoring on Twitter.
2 minutes, go.
Basically, he doesn't censor it on Twitter, but whenever he does it on YouTube, but he also does it. He only keeps it uncensored for two places: Twitter and Patreon.
And not to be fair,
So-
guys, I don't know who Jay Senpai is, just so you guys know. But go ahead.
Yeah, I have no idea who they're talking about either.
So basically, would you say your friend runs an anime channel or a hentai channel about smashing like underage characters?
I'd say, basically, he's the one who actually inspired me to actually do like, the linking of the nonprofit organizations to help actual kids in need. Because, we actually believe that, both him and I believe that
You bring up the Sound of Freedom, but failed to mention that the movie is being attacked by the same people who are anti-lolly. No, they actually brought that one up.
we should actually try to focus our attention on helping actual kids in need.
Like the people in the Catholic Church, I agree.
Because he doesn't condone it. I don't condone harming actual kids. But if it's actually based off of like, fictional characters that do not exist in real life, mind you, then
But that's not.
God, maybe I should actually look into the Sound of Freedom shit. I really don't want to.
That wasn't my question. See, I was asking you, do you think that he runs a hentai channel or an anime channel? That's the question for you.
Okay, so going off of what I've been hearing, it sounds like it's a hentai channel in the terms that hentai means pervert in Japanese, not like his YouTube one would be pervert channel, his Patreon and Twitter would be pornographic. From what I see, that Overlord guy is not understanding enough what lolly is. He just aligned that lolicon, and hentai is the same. Yeah, he seems to do a lot of mixing.
basically, I used to like to think of him as like an anti-tuber. So in his in his own vices.
So you're not sure. That's what you're saying. I mean, don't get me wrong. Someone in the comments said this, and I agree. Hentai is anime, but they're two different.
Yeah, like, isn't Lolita that kind of gothic maid look? Those outfits actually look pretty great. And from what I know, that was just kind of like idol culture clothing, I guess, pushed to younger people, sort of like teens, young adults. Yeah, Lolita is just fashion. That's what I thought.
Categories of animation. So,
They are.
That I agree with. So, with that being said, do you think your friend Jay Senpai is running a hentai or an anime channel? Because those are two kind of different things. What are your thoughts?
What I really think is basically he does do mostly anime stuff, but he actually likes to spice things up a little bit just because he actually put in the blood, sweat, and tears to get over 1,000 plus over 2,000 subscribers. Okay, and I'm only defend him because he's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And we actually kind of understand one another.
Okay, I mean, but like I said, the question I answered was like basically, does he?
It's true that the term from lolly coming from Lolita, though, back in 1974. Yeah, but if as far as I was aware, it had nothing to do with that book of the same title, Lolita. It's just a lot of people have been trying to draw that comparison.
on a hentai channel or an anime channel? What do you actually really think about that in your heart?
In my heart, he runs an anime channel because he's an anti-tuber.
Okay.
I watched a few of his videos, bro. I didn't see nothing anime about that. I just hear him talking about smashing underage characters,
Unfortunately, that's pretty common in anime.
Oh.
including like Pan, including the character from Ben 10.
Gwen
Tsunami.
Tennyson.
Talking about Gwen?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a popular one.
How-
What's interesting with Gwen is that there's like an aged up version, but people still choose the younger version. An interesting mindset. But I mean, it's all fictional, bro. Because some books tell about complex at their small girl age. Daddy complex. Yeah, it's a fucked up book. I haven't read it. I've heard bad things. Not exactly the best kind of read that I'd want to get into.
This is Gwen.
Susami from Senshi Muyu, the little girl one. I mean, bro, I've seen like a bunch of his videos. Where does he talk about like anime? I just want to know like which anime has he ever brought
Tenchi Muyo. You fucking just mentioned it. You're just mad he's talking about sex.
up? Because all I just talked about just smashing underage little girls. So wasn't it a hentai channel? Softcore hentai channel? Am I wrong about that?
Do you want to answer the question or not? It's up to you. Anime 343. It's up to you. Do you want to answer or not?
I think I'll pass.
All right, we'll pass on that question. Wow. Honestly, and I've heard of you mentioning J Senpai a few times, but I've never.
I'm on both sides, but I'll just let the pro lolly pass a question. Don't need to complicate. Lolly is just like slang for how they like came out with the term. Yeah. Yeah, like I really don't get how people can draw that connection besides the name is the same.
Actually checked out his content. I just heard you.
Okay, hang on. I'll actually have to send you a link of J Senpai through I've already got my YouTube pulled up, but he actually did create like a latest video. So hang on, I gotta freaking pull up. I'll actually link it to you in the private chat.
Okay. Do you want me to show it or not?
I mean, that's up to you. If you want to, show off J Senpai's channel,
Okay.
it could, give us some more viewers.
Okay. So
All right, hang on.
that being said, Digital Overlord, Ruby King said you bring up Sound of Freedom, but failed to mention that the movie is being attacked by the same people who are anti-lolly. What are your thoughts? That's a pretty good question.
I mean, a lot of people are attacking this movie, including CNN. But it's not going to stop with the truth getting out there. They're giving out movie tickets for free all over so people can see this. My mother's actually seen the movie this week and everything.
Okay. All right, let me go to private chat real quick. And this is, give you a second, guys. J Senpai X, trying to investigate dump truck cakes.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful with the
people in the
channel, bro. I'm
future.
warning.
It's like people in 2050 debate about how 2023 people started things called Riz. Yeah, I don't get how that one came about, but like it's here now. People got that Riz.
You don't want to get
Yeah.
demonetized.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Redo Helix.
Oh yeah. I would like to say that I do tend to say pedophilia a lot, but that's because I'm not monetized and I don't expect to make any money off of this. But like they've been calling it pedophilia, so that they don't actually trip the YouTube bots and so they can make money off of this.
And besides, I'm not even monetized by my channel. But if you guys want to actually support my channel, basically, I'm still trying to hit 500 subscribers. So be sure to subscribe to my channel.
Hey, same. Subscribe to me.
Basically, I'm actually at like 460. Hold on, let me check. I gotta check my channel number here real quick. Okay, view your channel. Yep.
Subtle plug, guys.
If you look at the thumbnails, bro. If you look at the thumbnails, bro, keep looking. You'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
We're not going to show J Senpai.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to. No.
Just for now. But
Are you
if
gonna
do
show
have a
it?
video in mind that you do want to show Mr. Anime 343, I am down. If you fully believe that video is safe, we'll play that. But with that being said, let's see. Brandon, the anime guy, welcome to the chat, by the way, and thank you for joining us. Blaine, thank you for joining us as well. You
Hentai is a type of anime? Yeah, it's a sexual type of anime.
guys,
Perverted, if you will.
anyone who's here, thank you for tuning in on a random Friday afternoon for the anti versus pro debate / Q&A. I will love to post any of you guys' questions, as long as they are respectful. If you have them in the chat, if I can find them down the line, I will post your questions. But Brandon Anime Guy says hentai is a type of anime, and I agree. I totally agree. I think we all can agree as well. What up, Jen? Kaiser, Carl, welcome. And
Hentai is a type of anime. It's also a type of art.
Javin, thank you for joining us. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you for all tuning in. But have you guys ever heard of Brittany Venti? Anyone know who she is?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why are they bringing her up?
I've heard of her.
Digital?
Nope, never heard of her.
Okay, so she's a very interesting YouTuber.
Okay, I'll be fair. I'd call her an interesting YouTuber too.
And she had a very
I'd phrase
interesting
it that
stance
way.
on lolicon, and this came about during the time where Elon took over, and he had, at that point in time, had decided to censor or at least control the way you find lolly on Twitter, right? So if you look up lolly on Twitter, you can't find it. It'll come up with nothing. You can look it up right now, nothing shows up. Unless you type lolly s like lollies, nothing really shows up. Okay. So Brittany Venti is a very far, I would say she's very far right-ish conservative YouTuber, and she
Yes, I would say she is very far right.
has a particular stance about lollies. And I want you guys to watch the video and let me know you guys' thoughts about what you think. And I'm gonna go with Digital first, and then I'll go. Brandon the Anime Guy said with the $5 super chat, thank you very much, bro. Lolly petite under 18 should not be hentai'd over. Fair game. Lolly being removed is unrealistic. Petite people are characters exist. That's true. I agree. Petite people do exist. Smaller body.
There is also a gray area of, hey, you can also age characters up if you want. It's not really the biggest deal to me. Because, like, yes, petite people do exist, but they also do have some changes to their bodies. Like, they get a little wrinkly. People do that when they get older. They get a little more spots and stuff. It's part of human nature. No matter how hormonally undeveloped, I guess, people are, their body still goes through changes as they get older. So you can still be petite and still show signs of aging. But most of the time, that's just glossed over with anime and hentai.
Body fractures exist. They are real. We all see them every day. That's why the stigma with lolly is why I'm on the fence, because lolly body types agree. They're real. they're real. They're real life. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, I can't be anti-lolly, because I know that they are actual real people in real life. But not the lolly character, but the body type. But anyway, thank you for the super chat. You Blaine, the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. On the scale of nuanced discussion of lolly done right versus wrong, to screeching about PDFs, I'm feeling we could descend any moment. All right. Let's check out this video. I'm gonna cancel the J-Senpai one. And we're gonna share this screen. Stop screen share. All right, we're gonna present this one. I know it's gonna piss off a few people. I know, because a lot of people don't like Brittany Venti, but we're gonna watch it anyway.
Me included.
Oh, you included. And let's see what we've got.
Lolicon as a term on Twitter, which I agree with. I don't think exploiting children or sexualizing children is actually a right, and nor do I think it should be a protected right, even if on some technicality under the guise of art that it is. The discernment we have to make between what is art and porn is the intent and usage of it. So basically with pornography, you have one case use of it, which is jerking off, and basically nothing else unless it were satire or parody. So, which is not, this is just fat material for predators, versus art has multiple uses and can be utilized in multiple ways, and usually it's to be admired in some way or the other in a non-masturbatory context. So that's the difference between cute petite girl art and art depictions of a literal fucking toddler.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like she's just interested in controlling art. From what I understood of her take there, it's she doesn't really understand the nuances of the topic.
All right, so that was her on YouTube. As you can see, not a very positive stance on lolly content or lolicons. So, Digital,
She also does completely miss the point with where the actual harm is regarding that. It just sounds like she's using that as an excuse to control art.
Thought. If you're going to play again, let me know and I'll replay
Oh, yeah, that doesn't surprise me right there. Fence sitter, eh?
it for you guys if you want me to. But what are your thoughts, Digital?
No, I agree with whatever like she said. She's 100% correct about lolicon, and I keep saying it like over and over and over again. But you know, if people still think like,
Okay, so this anti-loli is actually... Both these people arguing are conservatives. I'm not going to agree with them on basically anything, it seems.
you know, it's still just a cartoon or whatever. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, when you see kids that are, even if it's still a cartoon, if you're like basically drawing like characters that are like 5 to 16, you know, getting railed and everything,
Mhm.
you got problems, whether you like it or not. To
Okay.
hear the truth.
Okay. Anime 3 for 3. What are your thoughts?
What I think is, but what she's saying is actually a bunch of ad hominems, and she's also using a little thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Explain.
Okay, now for anyone who is not familiar with the Dunning-Kruger effect, is basically they're just saying a whole bunch of stuff that actually, when you can do a little bit of extra research, actually shows that they're just mostly speaking out of both sides of their mouth. So to me, Brittany Venti,
I don't think he explained that very well. Dunning-Kruger effect is essentially just an overconfidence in a given subject. I would argue that this entire debate is a case study for the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's really interesting when lolly debate is happening that much within en mass, when in Japan it's already calmed at this day. Yeah, like it's pretty widespread normalized in Japan. A lot of Westerners don't like it. I mean, I get it. I don't like it either. But there's good and bad ways to argue for it. And I think Digital Overlord has been doing a bad job of arguing.
she's just, using a whole bunch of gobbledygook and just trying to actually attack people that she doesn't agree with. And also, that's another thing that I would love to bring up, is she's actually also using another term called gish galloping, where she actually attacks, her opponents with so many like trigger words, buzzwords.
I don't think that was technically gish galloping. No, that's not even gish galloping because she's not in a debate. She's just putting out her take on that. But yeah, a gish gallop would be when you're just putting out so many points, so you just go over so many that they can't really stop you on all of them. But like, if somebody is trying to gish gallop you, you stop them and go point by point because they can't defend it point by point. So they throw a shitload of points at you.
Try to actually make yourself sound more smarter.
You think so? So you think that her
Big brain.
point of view doesn't come from a personal point of view? Do you think that she watched lolly content and said this can't be real, this can't be thing for children? Now, listen, you got to my stance. I don't personally agree with a lot of it, but do you think that maybe she watched a lot of anime and said, nah, these little 1,000-year-old dragons who look like 12-year-olds should not be a thing? Do you think that? Or what are your thoughts?
I don't think she's ever watched anime, let alone I don't think that anything.
Also, I would like to note that I'm not anti or pro. Let's just cover the anti's face with the super chats the entire stream.
She's actually saying this is kind of like Anita Sarkeesianism. Basically,
okay.
how she sort of like Anita Sarkeesian when she actually done her feminist frequency.
Yeah. Oh God, we're talking about Anita Sarkeesian in 2023. God damn it! Get a new talking point. Yeah, people in Japan talking lolly is okay, just in fiction, not IRL. They came to the conclusion that lolicon genre needed to prevent IRL crime. Honestly, that's an argument that I would make. Like, let's say, just hypothetically, I'm correct that it is in that mentality, that it is feeding that sort of desire. Like it's an oasis for that fetish, so people not doing the crime. Yeah, like violent video games. I'm angry, I want to take out my anger on stuff, so I'm gonna go play Halo and shoot up a bunch of people. That actually lets out those emotions, so I don't actually go do that in IRL. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of studies. I haven't found any specifically about lolicon and its effects on CSA, but I would be. You could convince me that having it available does reduce CSA because the people that are inclined that way would seek their or see their have their urges satisfied without actually, harming anybody. It just kind of, but in that case, isn't that proving that it is linked to it? That not everybody that enjoys that art wants to harm kids, but the people that do harm kids and enjoy that art don't harm kids because they got the art. And it's like, can we at least not be so prevalent publicly with the looting of it? Like, have your looting just. I'd rather not it pop up on the timeline regularly, especially with so much of it happening. Mostly because of the church, not the art. Let's be real.
Quincy, she actually decided to actually, take some clips
Oh, Ruby King's back.
of certain video games and then use it as like ways to actually project her own insecurities of said video games and saying it's bad.
Let's see about American cartoon characters at underage that have their private areas shown for a laugh. That's not sexualizing them. That's satirizing sexual characteristics of underage characters. So it's gray, and I'd still rather not. I'd rather not that I've seen Bart's dick from the movie, but I can't really stop it.
Okay, digital thoughts. Counter or no?
Basically, I don't have a problem with what she said. I mean, everything she said is just like, facts. I mean, at the end of the day, just think about it for a second. If you're drawing
like, this is a sensitive topic, we will say this just for education. They actually know the boundaries is between fiction and IRL things. Yeah, but a lot of people just get all triggered over the art itself, not actually think about the depth.
child, but even though it's a cartoon or anything like that, that's 5 or 6 years old, getting like nailed and everything, you don't consider that like disgusting or what's wrong with you? Or you don't consider like yourself to go to therapy?
Wow. Okay. All right, cool. That is an interesting question. I think Venti, my personal thoughts of Venti, I don't like her as much, but I do like some of her videos, and you don't know who she is. But with that, it's like, I feel as though there's a difference between watching an underage child. Like, anime is weird. So, like, the mangaka or anime creator can basically determine the age of any character they want, right? So, for example, it could be a kid who may look like, we all know Lolly is younger, and you're like, oh, she had to be 10 years old, and they're like, no, she's a 50-year-old grandma with 30 kids. So, like, so wait, does the age now change the mindset? Like, wait a minute, okay, she looks young, but she's technically not young. Like, I think there's a weird, like, thing.
Yeah, that can be complicated sometimes, which that is, that is true and everything, But if you also look at like this, like I like Promise Neverland, I hate season 2, F that, just read the manga. And at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if you're drawing those characters getting banged, then okay, yeah, bro, you need to be on medicine. You need to talk to a therapist right away because there is something wrong with you.
Okay, and that I agree with that point because the kids.
Moculus, what are these buzzwords that Britney used to make herself smart? Interesting.
Are actually kids in Promised Neverland. But before I continue, guys, once again, thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed to these guys' channels, these guys are awesome. They may agree or disagree with you guys' point of view, and that's fine. We're not all meant to agree with each other all the time, and that is fine. That's why we are here, and that's why the world keeps rotating. You know, we have disagreements, and we try to understand each other, right? So that being said, please subscribe to Digital Overlord and subscribe to Mr. Enemy343. They're trying to grow their platforms. You guys are great YouTubers. I just recently found about Digital Overlord when he hit me up on Twitter. He was a very respectful gentleman, didn't go crazy in the DMs. He just, I want to debate, and we just hit it off right away, and that is fine. If you agree with him or not, at least see his content, see if you like him. I think he's respectful to me right now. Enemy343 trying to grow his channel, so please, if you guys don't mind, subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe and support the guy. And we do have a question, and I think this would be going to Mr. Enemy343. What are the buzzwords that Brittany used to make herself smart? And that will be going to you, because you did say that.
Yeah, I was curious what buzzwords he was actually referring to there.
The buzzwords he actually keeps using are like, comparing saying freaking lolicon is actually considered pedophilia, which is not true, because basically fictional characters are not real people. It does not correlate. Okay? You see, but if you're actually just going to sit there and actually say that, if you actually like, wanting to send freaking drawings to like, the police, the FBI, Chris Hansen, or like nonprofit organizations to help actual kids in need, they'll just turn it away, because basically 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be helping, going after, artists that are actually making lewd content that you do not like, instead of actually helping actual.
Brittany is smart. She just has stupid takes. Yeah, that's what happens when you grift for the far right.
Victims in need. Like I said, this all goes back to.
Except most people are not not smart.
Helping actual kids.
Okay. All right. I can see. All right, cool. And before we jump to the next question, because the next question is going to be kind of deep. Roger Jack with £5 super chat. I appreciate you jumping in. My problem is there's no evidence to show this lolicon leads to noncery. That's it, right? This is like saying video games cause violence. Should I feel guilty for the NPC? No.
It is actually used for the IRL word for pedo. Like, I've heard that before, but like, I don't live in Japan. I live in Canada. I'm just a white girl that enjoys some anime. So like, I don't know. I don't even speak Japanese. I know a couple words. But like, holy fuck, people. This is painful, and I'm halfway through it.
No, I agree. There's been science. I talked about it with a friend of mine not long ago about the whether certain content can influence behavior, which is going to go on to the next topic. Whether anime can influence people with certain creepy tendencies. It would be like saying video games can influence people to commit mass shootings, right? There's a lot of science that say that it's not true, and there's science that said that may be a possibility. I don't think it's true. I've been playing COD, Halo, Gears of War for literally over a decade, right? And
honestly, I do want to find some of those studies that are like indulging in violent video games actually reduces violent outbursts of individuals, like that kind of thing, because it would still kind of play into the same idea. But like, if that was proven, I honestly don't know. I haven't read through all this stuff. So that guy calling lolicon and pedo is wrong. Wait, so I am so confused. Like, people will argue lolly is not pedo, lolly is pedo. It's like, I don't think it's literally child harm. I think it just, perpetuates that mindset and can be a vector for less than savory people to network under the guise of it's just fiction, bro. Like, I get so sus from those lolicon defenders that have like elementary school teacher in their bio. And I know that's the exact point of why they do it, but like, if you really want to prove to people you're not an actual pedophile, why would you lean into stuff like that? Like what I said is just cases of the term. Interesting. I assume, Shota, you are pro. You're on the side of pro. Like, I'm making the only assumptions based on your name. That's all I honestly know of you. But like, I don't personally care if people engage with that content. If they want to enjoy it, they want to have fun with themselves to it, I'm not going to stop you. Just don't involve me in it.
I have no intention of doing.
I will say that I do have people in my audience, in my community, that are certainly anti, and then some people that are fairly pro. I don't care. People can like the art they like, despite my opinion on it. As a genre, I don't care much. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Anything that heinous to anybody, right? But there might be some weak-minded people out there who might be like, listen, they're on the edge and they just don't give a crap, and they might use the game as some kind of, I don't know, stepping stool, which is stupid. I agree. I don't think it should be that way, but there are some weak-minded individuals who may use that as excuse. And the media doesn't help with our argument because they'll be like, oh, he played a lot of games. He has a memoir of Halo and killing people. It's like, okay, so we all play games. Who the fuck cares?
But I don't get that because we have the
I'm just going to say mass shootings is a completely different thing because, like, I really don't think people are going to be radicalized into harming children from the shit that, let's say, Fox News puts out. The fear mongering that excuse me, that I don't want to call them news. With that, the Fox Opinion Network, the stuff that they put out is so often what is cited in those manifestos. I'm here as true neutral. Oh, okay, cool, cool. I'm more on the anti side, but I'm not like one of them deranged antis.
rating system, and if the parents are not following it, then that's their fault. Because I do remember when Mortal Kombat didn't have a rating system and everyone went crazy, and then we got the rating system when Mortal Kombat 2 came out.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna say I fucking hate the rating system. It is arbitrary. And like so many things slip by based on who's working that day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
And I
It's not like a objective, these things make it M rating, these make it whatever. It's literally just a nonprofit that decides what is good for public and what is not. People should definitely be a lot more involved with the stuff they're giving to their kids. But that said, I don't really think it's that bad if you give your kids Mortal Kombat. Just make sure you instill, hey guys, make sure you know what's different between fantasy and reality. My parents raised me with that as a good little Christian girl, and well, I'm atheist now.
I totally agree. The racism is there for a reason. If the COD is usually rated T or M or something like that, Gears was M, Halo was like T, but like they're there for a reason. And if parents don't enforce
Was Halo ever T? I don't care about fact checking that one specifically.
certain rules as they should, then
For a fact, lolly itself, I agree with nothing we can do about it. Lolly genre, nah. I'm into big badonks. Yeah, I like big titties too. But I mean, I know people that are small titty. I am people that are small titty. My bigger problem is not specifically with the art itself. It's more of the way a lot of the defenders go about defending it.
it is what it is. And we can all agree with that, Mr. Anime 343. What are your thoughts about that? Same
I
thing.
totally, yeah, because basically, we do have the rating system, but nobody's actually nowadays is following the rating system because they're actually allowing actual kids playing like Grand Theft Auto and like
That's on the parent, not on the rating system.
not making sure that they're actually doing their.
It's just this video game actually not valid for the source itself, not HV much knowledge of what they talked about. Yeah, like they are definitely getting away from the topic with this.
homework, trying to actually freaking do their chores and help around the house.
Okay. Now, my fourth question, it's going to be pretty dark, but we got to get into it. We get to work here, right? So the question to Pro, which should be Anime 343, do you think Lolly can influence behavior in regards to people who have an attraction to minors?
Short answer, no.
Wow. Okay. I really, really hope he has nuance for this take, because I will just leave it at the media we consume does influence us. That is undeniable.
Okay.
Because
Why?
you see, when you boil it all down, I might like fictional characters of all. I'm an all around kind of guy. It doesn't matter if it's actually short, if it's actually got nice boobs, it's got a nice little bubble butt. I actually respect all types of waifus, because you see, one of the 4 things I have for my video at the end of my videos is respect the waifus and fan service. And basically, if you can learn to differentiate fiction from reality, then everything is Gucci. But if you can't, then that's an issue.
Interesting take when he says that the queer movement sexualizes kids.
Okay. So your answer is no, absolutely not. That lolicon would not influence or encourage the behavior of people who are attracted to minors. That's a big no, right?
Do I drink water? Not enough.
That's a big negatory no. Yeah.
All right, Digital, you two, what do you got?
That honestly all depends on the individual, because there are some certain people that watch that stuff, and next thing they do, they go to cons, and I don't know how many people got in trouble for coming out and being a straight up pedo. And at the end of the day, I went through a lot of like anime conventions. I've seen stuff you wouldn't even believe, bro. That is bad. Like they have like stuff where like signs that literally said, stay away from these type of individuals. If you see anything, say something. They even have like a sign that says, don't forget to shower and wear deodorant. So
yeah, the big thing with that is not specifically that people are predating on minors. It's more of people are, or the type of people that are neats. They enjoy their try hot ginger tea with honey. Oh, really? I will give that a try, actually. I have been wanting to drink more tea, get away from pop as much. But in a lot of anime culture and stuff, or at least the people that consume tons of anime, there is the stereotype of stays at home all the time, neat. They just consume their anime, and they don't really socialize with people a lot. And then that leads to a shitload of bad problems, bad areas, and bad outcomes. And I think that's really more of what it is. Like, I haven't really seen any what is it? I haven't really seen anything that really shows a broader trend of this is a problem at anime cons specifically because of this type of art.
they do not play around when it comes to this at all. And it gets to the point where I feel like if people watch this type of stuff, so much of it, they get addicted, they might go down the rabbit hole, and they might do some pretty dark stuff.
Oh, slippery slope.
To anime convention, which I've been to a plethora, and I've seen the content there, and people are a little interesting. So you're saying it's someone who's on like the verge, like he's at the border, like he's had a thing for littles, and he sees the hentai or ecchi content at a convention. Do you think you're saying that content could possibly push this person? Like, listen, I want the real thing. I want to see. What
it honestly all depends on that individual of what he's gonna do, like what's running through his mind. That's how I'm seeing it. But to me, I never think that lolicon is good at all to be drawn like that. Like I said, you can have lolly in anime. That's not going to stop, and that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to lolicon, yeah, I do believe that should stop. I mean, like, why draw a child be getting railed by an adult? Like, come on, dude.
Okay, I do want to, because you mentioned this a few times. You said lolly and lolicon. I think the two are the same. No, they are the same.
You think not really?
As we've talked about earlier in this video, I work under the framework that lolly and shota are the body types, and then the lolicon shotacon is the not safe for work art of those types. That's the framework I work under.
Okay.
You see, loli actually represents the body type, but a lolicon is actually someone who actually, prefers the
Oh, I've seen that name before. I have a question for the two contestants: which is more popular, lolly or shota? People definitely prefer the lolly.
body type of a petite woman.
Okay.
So basically, do you consider like Eri, because Eri's not like sexualized at all, bro. Not one little bit. Not one. She's in My Hero Academia, and basically that's it. She's just a kid. So would you consider that she deserves to be sexualized and like to be put in a commission and get literally railed? I mean, what up with that?
It's not really about that she deserves to be. It's that people are horny degenerates and they're going to do it anyways. You can't really stop people from being able to do that. MC introvert kind of type is mainstream, coming from actual most of the Japanese audiences. To get more audience, but the market is that average shy introvert Japanese person, so that they can relate. Oh, yeah, I get that. There's been like definitely an increase of that sort of lifestyle post COVID, so it's kind of going to get played into a bit more. Hopefully, we can start pushing away from that type of culture. And by that, I mean like I want more people to go outside and socialize rather than just stay home and watch their favorite anime people. That said, keep watching my stuff and like all of my videos.
All right. Good. Fair.
Okay, let me just put it like this.
Mhm.
Okay, I actually had to go through my gallery because I got my I got some evidence to actually prove on my phone here from my friend Mitsudi Nika, aka Sean the Legend. So basically, here's the photo right here. See where it says it's circled?
No, I can't
What
read
does it
that.
say?
It says child pornography is images of actual children engaged in or simulating sexual conduct or exhibiting their genitalia.
He just said simulating there, so I mean, doesn't that defeat his own argument?
Artwork, cartoons, drawings, and sketches are not actual images of real children and are therefore not child pornography.
Yeah, it's not literally about or it's not literally a child getting depicted. It's still in the cases of like, fuck it. I'm gonna go with Anya from Spy X Family. In Rule 34 cases of her, it's so fucking sus because like it's explicitly about the proportions. It's about the aesthetic. At least that's how it appears to me. And that is what is problematic rather than this character they're like 16 and they look like an adult and they're acting pretty mature. I don't care that much. Like, go off on Yoko Littner from Gurren Lagann. I don't care. I care more about like Anya because it's like it's a lot closer to the child itself, and like it is still definitely a fucking gray area, but it's not something that we should be legislating over. It's not something we should be arresting people over. It is something that we can culturally push back and call fucking creepy.
So you basically said that. So automatically, I kind of I say like how it is. I honestly believe basically if you are drawing like underage characters that are kids, like I said, 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 or whatever, and if they're not like if they're not adults like 18 to 19 or 20.
I don't know. There's only adult Anya and Damien being shipped to my timeline. Yeah, I have no issue. Like, I really don't care about aging up the characters. It's the people that still depict her in her body portrayed in the anime itself. That is where it gets sus to me. Like, even a safe for work body pillow of Anya is just sus to me. It's not literally pedophilia. It's just sus to me.
then there's something wrong with you. Even 3, dude. Like, come on, dude. Regardless if that's a cartoon, you're gonna sit here and tell me like Chucky and like from the Rugrats. Like, come on, bro.
Okay.
That does also get into the idea of age play. Is age play pedophilia? Because it's people role playing that age difference. It's kind of trending in that direction, but it's not actually harming any kids. So there is no actual harm between 2 consenting adults pretending to do that. I find it sus. I'm not going to stop people from doing that. I'm just going to keep my bigotry towards it and say keep it in your room. I don't want to know about it. But, like, that's just me.
What do you,
Basically-
are you eating by any chance or something?
He's chewing gum.
Actually, I'm just chewing some gum.
Oh, okay. I was just asking. They can hear you chewing.
Would you consider Chucky and Tommy? Would you consider them babies? Right.
Yes, they are babies. Absolutely.
Okay, they are babies. Do you think they should have like not safe for work made up on them?
That's how the market is. Pedo is not okay, but people like the characters, so make the adult lewd version. I'm okay with that. Yeah, like, age them up. I'm not gonna give anybody shit over that. Frankly, I don't think I'd give people shit over not aging up the characters. I'd just, interact with them less. Not interact with them.
I find it uncomfortable, but basically, if it's actually not based on actual kids, like, I'm not going to...
Regarding the comfort and fictional characters, let's say it's deep fake AI art that's made to look as photorealistic as possible to not any actual person or act that has been done, but to everybody except the expert eye, you couldn't distinguish that from AI art. Would he be put off by that? I wonder that one. Because with anime, you do have that, fuck it, what is that term? What's that term? The sense of disassociation, where it's clearly fictional. But if it's AI art that you can't tell if it's AI art, like porn from AI, yeah, AI porn. Like, there is deepfake porn of actual people out there. Let's say it's deepfake porn of not an actual kid. But you can't tell from just it popping up on your timeline that it's not actually a kid, but it looks photorealistic. Would that bother him? Because it would sure as fuck bother me.
Stop them from actually doing it. I'm not going to stop any Rule 34 artists making that because, my friend Dionysus actually made that same argument. You can actually draw, like, gore, viscera of Rugrats, like Rule 34, but, at the end of the day, it's still fiction.
And I'm going to interject between both of you guys, because I do have them.
So, no, it doesn't bother him specifically because it is fiction. So he can just, like, I don't care. It doesn't have any actual harm. It doesn't matter. Which I can sort of get, but I still wonder about would that kind of AI art bother him?
Something to say about that. Yes, I'll agree. Yes, they are fiction and they're never going to be real, and nothing we say is going to change that. But I will say this though, it is a little weird to make some kind of content that is sexual in nature in regard to a character who is designed from the creator to be young. So it's actually, for example, Chucky, Tommy, the Rugrats, Angelica, they're all obviously kids. So
Yep.
Now, if someone was to make content in their childlike form as them being sexual, I can't get jiggy with that person. That's just me. I think it's just beyond me personally. However, I will say this because there has been a lot of content made of Anya from Spike's Family where she's not a child, but she is in her adult form. There's fanfiction made from, like, say, Saki Michan, who has made a lot of Anya fanfic where she's, like, in her 20s and she's 30s or whatever. And I'm like, oh, she's kind of hot because Anya is no longer a child. She's not being depicted as a child. She's being depicted as a grown-up she's in her 20s and she's in 30s. I'm like, oh, okay, that's hot. That's cool. that I'm okay with. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Aging up, I don't care. It does not make a difference to me.
But if they're depicting them as being sexualized as their younger selves, like she's like obviously like 5 years old or 6 or an anime, I can be like, listen, I get it. She's not real, but it's kind of weird. It's kind
it's very sus, bro. It's very sus.
That I'm gonna have this.
Oh my god, I honestly did not expect going into this that the person I would agree with the most is Dante.
Agree with on in that aspect. I get the fictional, and I'm not gonna go crazy over it and lose sleep. Oh my god, she's sexualizing Angelica Pickles and Tommy. No, I don't care as much. But I would say, bruh, that's kind of weird. that is kind of weird.
Yeah, basically, it's okay to find it disgusting. It's okay to find it, weird and stuff like that. But there are certain lines you do not cross. Okay.
Right.
Because realistic photo fiction or not, it's realistic. Pick closer to human look IRL of kids doing sexy pose. Big no for me. Yeah, big agree. I wouldn't even want to approach that subject. And well, I mean, anime art is still kind of going towards that, but it's not realistic or like it's not photo realistic. There's still that degree of separation. But like with fictional photorealistic art, that is where the line gets a lot blurrier, and I wonder if they even have a defense to that one.
But there's a question on I do want to ask.
Or not defense, like a rebuttal to that, a response.
Ask you guys because on the screen, I have a question for 2 contestants. Which is more popular, Lolly or Shota? Oh, in my opinion, it's Lolly. Lolly is more popular.
Yeah, it's definitely Lolly because basically Lolly actually gets more love because and even though freaking people actually freaking per se have like okay, who's tapping? Because Lolly actually 9 times out of 10 usually gets targeted by social justice weaklings that actually don't even care about.
Dude's using social justice warrior in 2023, the year of our Lord. Why don't you just say woke people?
Helping actual kids in need, whereas they are completely freaking silent on real
life kids?
On Shota, because
Shota? Okay.
I will say that's typically because there is still that mindset of like, let's go with the situation of a teacher abusing a student. When it's a male teacher abusing a female student, everybody is 100% against that. When it's a female teacher female teacher abusing a male student, the response is nice. The response is, where was she when I was in school? It's a lot more of, it's okay to do it to boys. And I think that's where it's coming from. I'm Shota here just because I like Oni-san. Okay. I honestly don't know the origins of your username. I've actually really been enjoying your input in this conversation. So thank you for popping in, Shota.
Because, that's actually still underage anime boys.
And that leads me to my next question, actually. I'm glad you brought that up, guys.
I would also like to say that he is also... He's grandstanding about the antis don't actually say anything about the real harm being done. But, like, nobody fucking talks... Like, hardly anybody... Actually, it is the left mostly that talks about the child abuse done in the church. Because that's where the majority of it happens. People just love to sensationalize and fixate on the lolicon debate rather than actually talk about what would help prevent more child abuse in the future. Everyone will say, yes, mommy. Sorry, mommy. I prefer mistress, just saying.
Leads us almost to the ending of the live, but this is going to be a very interesting question to the anti-lolicon debater. Why does Loli get so much hate? And it does. I've seen the tweets on Twitter and the TikToks. They are insane. Okay? But why does Loli get so much hate, but Shota is basically never really spoken about? Because Shota is basically Lolly, but for boys. Lolly's for girls and Shota for boys. But I don't see any opposition, even when it comes to a lot of websites like Facebook, Instagram. They don't go crazy over Shota. But Lolly content, they are quick to call the FBI, and you have people going crazy. Why do you think Lolly gets so much hate over Shota? What are your thoughts?
I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, to be perfectly honest, bro, I don't like both of them. You know, both of them are just as like guilty and disgusting in my opinion. You know, and honestly, both of them should be called out. But like you said, it is a fictional character. They draw that stuff or whatever. But at the end of the day, I look at it, my point of view, y'all need to go to therapy. If you literally keep drawing that stuff, you need to be on medication.
Okay, all right. So NB343.
Oh, that's a pretty disingenuous super chat there. I'd say the third guy is treating the fictional characters like a real child rather than drawing. Seems like he's very attached, which is interesting. Essentially implying that that digital overlord here is more focused on it actually being more focused on the pedophilia, kind of trying to shift the blame. Because I want to be the emperor of Shota, that being loved by all mommy in the world. Simple as I want to get pampered by older women figure. Oh, fair enough, fair enough.
Thoughts? Shota getting less publicity over Lolly. What are your thoughts about that?
Because people don't want to focus on Shotas because they know that they actually get the rocks off on Shotas. Because if they actually go after Shotas, then that actually just makes them hypocrites. I mean, look at Neurality for
I would say that it's because the sexualization of men is not as prominent. The sexualization of women is way more prominent. And, like, it is so much more discussion on it, so much more attention drawn to it. Yeah, this is super shifting the blame here. Yeah.
freaking, for Christ's sake. How she actually was going after lolis, but she actually punished for, like, Rule 34s of freaking Deku and Bakugo, just doing each other.
Okay. And I will say that I agree in both of you guys to a certain degree. I agree that Shota doesn't get a lot of what do you call it? They're not activated as much. There's no real uproar in regards to Shota, and Shota is basically Lolly, but for boys. And I think it's because of the clientele. A lot of Shota is really absorbed by a lot of females because it's for guys. And I bring this up all the time because I've been watching anime for a very long time. And when
The answer just because the male audience is bigger, Lamau. Yeah. I mean, there's. I would say it's a lot bigger of a market for Lolly rather than Shota.
Black Butler first came out, right? I think the kid, what's his name? CL? I can't remember this guy's name, but
Yeah, CL Phantom Hive.
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember having a lot of female friends growing up. And I'm talking about these chicks were like in their 20 plus years old, and they would make fan fictions, drawing this stuff out of CL doing weird and crazy stuff with him doing stuff to the butler, and I'm like, whoa! I'm like, what?
Yeah,
what
it goes insane, bro.
It's weird, right? But these are the same girls who would go online and say, well, Lolly is disgusting, and they're little people, and they're just grown ups who are little bodies. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on here. I remember you vividly creating content and fan fiction in regards to Shotas doing very hypersexual things to an adult. Or I think the butler's like a demon or something like that.
He is a demon.
So it's like, why? It's just a weird thing to me. Like, Shota should be getting as much hate as Lolly, and I'm gonna keep it a stack with you both. Shota doesn't get as much hate as Lolly. Not even remotely close. Okay.
You should ask Taiga Under Heaven if Shota gets as much hate as Lolly. Just saying.
It doesn't. I've seen a lot. If you look at Shota on Twitter right now, you can find Shota content right now. But Loli is still being censored in some shape or form, right? So I do think it's weird. Now, let's do some let me read the comments real quick. If I say third guy is treating the fictional characters like real children rather than drawing, it seems like they are very attached with, which is interesting. So they're saying you're attached. Wait, with the third guy, you're saying Mr. Anime, or I'm gonna say.
I think he's actually referring to Digital Overlord.
Okay, what do you have to say in regards to that comment, Digital?
No, I don't like that stuff at all. Never had.
Okay. All right. Do you think you're treating the fictional characters as real people, or you just don't like?
No, I mean, I mean, think about it for a second, bro. If you're
he doesn't have the language for it, but he's pushing back against the mentality.
Like, say if you're like, close cousin, saw you watching that stuff or whatever. Right. I guarantee you, what she gonna do? She gonna slap you across your face. But it's just it's just a fictional character, nah, bro.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Okay, even this person is saying Uzaki is a lolly. Like, seriously, how broad is the definition of lolly? I've been going over or going out working with the framework that Depressed Sagi set up with his lollytrope video about, VTubers broadly. That's just how hypocrite people on the internet is. Yeah.
Now, I do have one final question, and I'll let you guys debate. And I know some people want to jump in, and we'll see about that. But I do have one last question for you both, and I'll
Who again? Oh,
go with Pro this time.
her. Uzaki. How is she a lolly? Is it because she's short and cute? Because I've always worked under the assumption that it's short and petite. Like, I think short stacks are very different from lollies. That's just me. To be fair, lolly is one of those terms that changes whom you're talking to. Oh, yeah, 100%. That's true.
I think I went anti last time. So, do you think that lolly content,
Lolly originally is small girl kids around age 8 to 3. Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. But there have been some people that even call, what's her name? Usagi from Sailor Moon. Like, Sailor Moon herself is a lolly because she's like 16 or 17. Yeah, like what I said, that guy didn't know what lolly is. Yeah.
cons, whatever you want to call it, okay? Do you believe that this content belongs in the anime community? Not that it's already in it, we know it's here, but do you think that it belongs in the anime community and manga? What do you think?
Personally, yeah, I think it does because basically, lolis have actually always been an integral part of anime ever since anime was first conceived.
An integral part. That's an interesting take. Like, what actual purpose does it have to the medium itself? There is an argument you can be made that the good of lolly is showing the representation for the underserved body types. But then why does that get tied to underage characters if you want to be body positive? Not 13 to 18, still not legally aged, can't be called lolly. I am so fucking confused. This term just keeps changing every time it comes up. Saki is one of those characters that, for some reason, people call her a lolly as some weird bait. Okay, like
You should actually.
I want to know. Zaki-chan. Wikipedia. The best source of them all. Voice. No, I don't want the voice. I want the character. A second-year college student. So she's a fucking adult. But they're calling her petite because she's short? Okay. So is sometimes mistaken for an elementary school student because she's short. I'm gonna guess it's because she's short, high energy, that kind of thing. Yeah, she's literally an adult. Or not literally, like in the context of her anime, she is an adult.
I mean, heck, we've actually had history of actually loli content actually being so present ever since the 70s, the 80s, during that time frame.
I mean, Astro Boy was a shota.
Because you see, when you actually face it at a certain point and boil it all down,
it's a term for Japanese people calling little kids, not teenager. Yeah, and like if it is for calling it little kids, or at least petite, why the fuck would they broaden it to include short stacks? Is it explicitly because the character gets mistaken for a child in the anime or whatever? that guy keep mentioning Uzaki without watching the anime is like, I haven't watched the anime, but I'm also not like saying definitively about her. I just don't think she's a lolly. It's like, honestly, I never even considered the age to be a part of the factor personally for the lolly, because there are people that call Anya Forger a lolly. There's people that call that 5,000-year-old dragon a lolly. And then like a ton of things in between, and like broadening it so much that like any kind of underage character gets labeled a lolly because they want to defend it. Like I've seen lolly defenders that are like, you called lolly pedophilia, but you have Sailor Moon in your likes, not even a sexual picture. And it's like, she's a lolly and you like that, so you're a hypocrite. Your likes are public. It's like, oh my god, that's so dumb. Because like, I can say I hate lolicon. I don't want to fucking see it. I don't want to see the art. I can also say Reflect by Gargura is a legit bop of a song. Go listen to it. That doesn't make me a hypocrite. The hypocrisy would be if you're saying lolicon is 100% pedo and anyone who likes it is a pedo, and then they actually have that explicit art in their likes. That would be just, well, that would be a self-report. Appearance of that specific look in normal life is what is called lolly if we talked about anime terms. Okay, so petite, right? God, this is so vague. I'd much rather discuss it one-on-one with somebody that's like actively wanting to defend it.
People just don't have any like context of actually understanding what's a fictional character and what's a real person. Especially, another thing I really want to bring up is how freaking actual CP enthusiasts actually say freaking lolicons are actually pedophiles because they're actually secretly trying to discourse, their own insecurities, like EDP 445, for instance. And
What? Source?
freaking lolicons are actually pedophiles because they're actually secretly trying to discourse, their own insecurities, like EDP 445, for instance. And how
Who? Just bringing up some random person in your debate that you don't like? Legal Lolly is born after they got criticism by media in Japan. What I explained before, they just added age factors for that. Oh, okay.
he actually went after Chris Tyson after, Chris actually became transgender. And, Chris actually had,
What pronouns are you going to use for Chris?
Chadman's original works actually on his mantle. And how they say freaking lollies actually makes you transgender.
What? No, that's not what they fucking said. Oh my god, I covered this in a Rev video before. No, I do think there was some likes of, or like there was some Shadman enjoyed art by Chris Tyson. But, what was it? The people that were saying that liking it made you transgender were the same people that are saying we're putting chemicals in the water to make the fucking frogs gay. So take their word with a grain of salt. Just saying. 30 plus age, bang now, you're adult with kids appearance. Now it's legal. Now it's safe to showcase around the anime or TV. I mean, there are people that do exist with that. And like, representation does matter. But holy shit, it is so prevalent. These guys are pretty far right, aren't they? All three of them are.
Oh shit. Oh yeah.
Fuck, what was I going to say about now it's legal, now it's safe to showcase in anime and TV? Like, there is something to be said about representation for underserved body types. There is another thing to be said about making it so common and mainstream. Like there are. I do find it sus when there are. I don't have any explicit. What's it? I don't have any explicit examples at the top off the top of my head, but like in regards to like what Digital Overlord was bringing up earlier, the popsicle sucking stuff, these suggestive scenes, that's not explicitly pedophilia, but it's from what I see, it's like the equivalent of holding your finger in front of somebody's nose, like a centimeter away, going, "I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you." It's like some people are explicitly making non-fiction, factor fiction, making fictional art of underage characters specifically because they're underage. Not everybody does this, but it does at least seem like such a current trend, such a not current, a popular trend that honestly could be culturally shifted out. I think we could do without it. Said kid eating banana. Banana is equivalent to hentai. Yeah, that stuff. That shitty puritanical take.
Remember that he did say that. That was very weird, especially coming from him because we all know about his history. he is not one to talk. Well, not at all.
Well, what about? Well,
Hmm?
actually, Dante, if I could actually just chime in for one more small plug. What
Sure.
about Dr. Pizza, for instance? What about
Who?
Dr. Pizza? Because basically, he also was the one who actually said that lolicons are pedophiles, but yet he got caught with CP. And I mean real CP.
Wow. I did not know that at all. I had no idea. No lie, I had no idea. Wow. Okay.
What's your point? Is it? Are you broadly equivocating any person that calls lolicon pedophilia are the real pedophiles? They're just shifting the blame, pointing fingers at others so they don't get noticed themselves.
The more you know.
So, the same question will go to Digital Overlord. Last question: do you believe that lolicon?
By the way, that's all. That is anecdotal. It's talking about specific instances as if they're a broader trend.
Content, lolicons, Lolita, whatever the case is, anything to do with lolly, do you think that the category itself, do you think it belongs in the anime community? I know it's already in the community, but do you think it should be part of the anime community or anime, content? What do you think about that?
Do you mean basically lolicon, or you just mean plain lolly in anime and manga?
Lolicons, because lolly and lolicons
Okay,
are...
so
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so I believe lolicon shouldn't be drawn in hentai at all. Like I said, again, anime and manga have lolly, and
Oh
y'all can't
shit!
stop that.
Mhm.
God, it went black.
That's how I'm seeing it. But my point of view, when you're taking characters that are kids, drawing them being, sexualized and being like bangs, yeah, you got problems, bro.
Gotcha. Okay.
I remember when Spy X Family first episode came out, people on the internet diss that anime because they make Anya blushing animation. Oh yeah, like there is something to be said about people getting overly sensitive regarding the subject. But there is such a I'm going to say a narrative push among the people that are militantly defending it that the antis are the real pedos. Even if it's not something that they explicitly outright say, it's something that a lot of them just push because there have been people that have been caught, so to speak, that were anti-lolly and then they actually did some child harm. I wouldn't be surprised if there was also the same on the other side, on the pro lolly side, that there have been people that have been caught with that. The antis just aren't militantly looking for every single lolicon person that is an actual pedophile and going after them. They're just broadly saying that stuff is pedophilia. Treated like anime should be the same with The Simpsons. Nothing changed the skin color. Nothing changed with the skin coloring. What do you mean by that? When it's just how anime in general show expression to on face to show the characters happy or smiling. Yeah. They treat it like anime should. The same with Simpsons. Nothing changed with skin color. Okay, I am confused by that last point.
All right. Well, I will say this. So, first things first. Anime 343. Do you have any questions or statements you have to Digital Overlord before we continue?
Just no.
No. All right. Digital,
I'm actually all set. So
Digital, same question.
Nah, it's all good.
Good. All right. Cool. And chat. Do you have any questions about? Let me read this real quick. First, it's Lolly and Shota. They've come forward, but as we've seen from Uzaki incidents, the censored won't be satisfied. Don't criminalize art. Period. Okay. Now Uzaki-chan is very.
You know the face expression in anime art? I've probably seen it, but I just don't know what you're specifically referring to.
I mean, Cerno does make a good point.
I agree. Lolly, Uzaki, I don't think she's a Lolly, but they definitely do comfort because she's a short stack. She is obviously an adult. She's about 20 or 19 years old. She's in college. And she's small, she's petite, and she has massive mommy milkers. And that's fine. People like that exist. I know you all know women in real life.
We've seen women like that, that. Yeah, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that are short and stacked, though rarely do the ones that I've known that are built that way. Rarely are they treated like children, they're treated more like short people. It is the people that are flatter chested and still baby faced, but they're like 20, 30. That's when people tend to get assuming that they're younger. A big part of it is the body development. You know, like anime face turning blue when they said, or there's blushing in the cheek and happy. Blue when they sad, blushing in the cheek. Yeah, like they're showing off emotion, and so like people were getting mad that Anya blushed. Yeah, because fucking kids don't blush.
I believe there are people out there in the world who just hates to hate. Now we all can disagree or agree or disagree about
Love to hate.
lolicon because they're small, petite, and I understand why you may or may not like them. But Uzaki-chan, when I first saw the anime, before I saw the hate online, I was like, oh, she's just a small person, or she's just a regular size.
I'm confused why Uzaki brought as loli in the first place. That Dante guy keeps mentioning it again and again. Yeah, like I don't get it either. She's short, and in the anime, sometimes referred to as a character, mistaken for an underage character. So I guess that's why. Very, very loose. It's really broadening the definition of, or like, yeah, it's broadening and graying the definition of what loli actually is. I guess to get away from that petite body type that they love to crank it to.
As a human being, I didn't think anything crazy about it until I came online. People were like, oh, she's just this and this. I'm like, wait, are you?
I don't think it was anything malicious on his end that he just hadn't explained it till now, but like it would have been better if they had given more context to it. But I guess they just assume everybody watches every anime. I don't.
Arguing over an adult? I'm so confused.
I didn't understand about that because it's like it's not a hentai, it's an anime. What's your argument here about it? It's a freaking anime, bro. Like, come on.
Exactly. Let it go. Like, I don't see why you'd want to go crazy over something that's obviously an adult human, well, not human, anime character. There's nothing really crazy about Uzaki-chan. So I agree. There are people out there who just hate to hate. Nothing you do, nothing we all say, nothing we debate will fix or change their minds. They're just going to hate. If it's sexualized or it's fan service, they're going to be mad no matter what we say or do. All right? Now, in regards to lollies and Shota, I can understand why people may have some kind of, hesitance in regards to liking the content. But with that being said,
I can also see where a lot of people are mad about lolly and Shota hentai, given that there is a legitimate problem with CSA in the US, and there is a ton of people that just don't worry about it. It's not real. Who cares how you actually feel about it? What the effect of that has on some individuals. Don't worry about it because a lot of anti-lollies end up becoming, or not a lot of them, anecdotally, there's more anti-lollies that get caught as pedos, so they're the real pedos, and that's what gets pushed. And oh god, I hate this. I hate this debate.
Said, uh, people are allowed to like it. People are allowed to despise it for whatever reason. Super chat. Thank you for the super chat once again. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you for showing out today. There are far more examples of worthless animals gunning after lollies end up being pedo. That's true. There have been people who have. I've seen it a few times where people who are anti-lolly who come out as being actual real life, like Anime 343 said, real life predators. And there are people who come out in opposition of lolly content on Twitter who in their likes have a bunch of lolly characters they just like, and they're liking underage girls in anime. It's like, wait, hold up, you can't tell me you dislike lolly. And
Hey, guys, don't worry. I'm a centrist here, but your likes are public. The debate is literally you must be the offender because you're calling me an offender. That's what their argument there is, yeah.
you are a activist, but if I go to your likes, there's lollies there, there's Shota there, there's underage girls there. Like, wait, what? So, what is it? Do you like it or you don't like it? It's the weird thing in the anime community, and I don't like it. If you're not gonna like it, stand your ground. Okay, I respect somebody who stands.
Yeah, I will agree with that. If you're going to say that you don't like it, stick to that. But I would say that there are some people that have just like posted lolly is pedo just to get the clicks, get the engagement on Twitter. I mean, I would say that it's not entirely incorrect to call it that. It's hyperbolic. You should really see the second debate that had again Mr. Anime had against that was a top-notch debate about lollies. Honestly, I'd rather have Mr. Anime on stream just to talk to me. I'd rather talk to him directly. Cause like this dude is arguing for, normalizing lolicon, but he also says that the queer movement are the ones sexualizing kids. Admittedly, he only brought that up the once, but like I don't see him as a good faith actor when he brings that one up.
Answer ground says, I don't like it, I'll never like it, I hate it, it is what it is, rather than you saying it for a clout and then ending up being like, oh well, it's not that bad. No, it's you're you're a hypocrite. Absolutely, you're a freaking hypocrite. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're a hypocrite. Okay. Now,
yeah, that does make them a hypocrite to say that this is terrible, he shouldn't do it, and then having it in their likes. So I would like to add to the record that hypocrisy is pushed as like one of the worst things that people can be. I mean, we've literally on this channel covered a video where Rev had said that the worst thing you can be is a hypocrite. I don't know how sincere he was with that, but he was sincere enough that people have been running with it. They don't actually care. I'm gonna be honest, the term anti immediately makes me sus now, haha. Oh yeah, like if you're coming out against anti whatever, I'm starting to get a little more sus about that. Time to go. Oh, okay, thanks for stopping by. I've really enjoyed your input here. Have a good time zone. I'm not sure where you are.
real quick, I do want to share something with you guys because I've had this come up a few times, and I want to know you guys' thoughts.
Yeah, I kind of think being a pedophile is worse than being a hypocrite. I also think advocating genocide is worse than being a hypocrite. Just a couple things off the top of my head.
Thoughts about this? A character from Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Rebecca.
Hell yeah, she's freaking waifu material, baby.
There's discourse all over the internet, whether she is lolly or not, and I've brought up this argument multiple times. Right now, there is video, and I've shared this also, of the creators of the show saying that she is lolly. Now, I'm going to show it to you guys, and let me know your thoughts. Do you guys think that she is lolly, even after hearing what they had to say. Let's go.
I was one of the people on the creative team to actually vote Rebecca out of the original cast during pre-production, because what happened was that CD Projekt Red first got the character design for Rebecca, and they were like, she's a loli. Lolis don't exist in Night City. It doesn't fit Cyberpunk 2077 aesthetic. But Sugar was like, no, the loli must stay.
All right, so you see now, you heard that. Now, I don't know if you've seen the anime,
I
Cyberpunk
have.
Edge Runner.
I've seen the anime.
Yeah,
Basically knew what they were
Rebecca
gonna do.
from Cyberpunk. Edge Runners? Now, where's a decent picture that's not going to get me in trouble? Shop for sim. God damn it, that's not what I want. I'll go with this one. Because it's not like a bikini pic. And you can kind of tell that she doesn't have a lot of in the chest area. She is what I would consider a lolly, but in terms of the body, she doesn't really fit, at least from my recollection, she doesn't really fit that childlike mentality and personality, so to speak. Like, she acts like an adult, like you would expect. Or am I just remembering that wrong? Because my problem is not with her body type. My problem is with the 5,000-year-old dragons that should act or should know what adults act like, but they choose to act like children. And that's the thing that people choose to sexualize. And that is what gets me sus. So
It basically made Cyberpunk popular again when people started to enjoy it, when Studio Trigger actually made it. And I knew it was going to be.
I enjoyed Cyberpunk, and I've only ever played 1.0, no patches. Yeah, Rebecca is an actual adult, and she acts like an adult. She's just petite.
Very entertaining when they actually came out with it. Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen it many times.
I agree, and I love the anime. The anime is freaking phenomenal. The game, it's okay. But
The
with that being
game,
said,
the game crashed, bro. Like when we all got it, man. Come on.
Yeah.
It was definitely not great, but I still enjoyed it.
The game had some big issues, man.
Yeah.
I'll admit it's gotten better now, but holy crap, when the game first came out,
Has it really gotten better so I can buy it now? There won't be no crashes or anything like that.
You know,
No, I think we agree, but like she's on the spectrum, just on the low end, with the lolly from Dragon Maid being on the other end. Which is when I checked off that series. Oh, okay. Rebecca, what literally called a lolly was literally called a lolly. Yeah, like this video that they just played just showed that there was internal discourse regarding her just because, she's petite. Hey, she still acts like an adult. Hey, Erica, how you been? Of adults in childlike bodies. I mean, yeah. I think we're on the same page, Becca. God, I don't like talking about this topic. At least not secondhand. I want to actually talk with a pro lolly defender, like one of the adamant ones. Like, fuck, I want to talk to Mr. Anime.
I ain't gonna lie, it has gotten better. I'll admit to that. I say try it out. If you have an Xbox, I think it's on Game Pass. I do say check it out.
Right.
Now with that being said, do you think that she is a lowly character?
Yes.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I guess she is, but at the same time, it's like
Lolly is a short, petite female body that is cute. Yep, and Shota is the male version.
is the main character doing anything sus with her? No.
I mean,
isn't Rebecca literally a prostitute? Or am I not remembering that right?
Rebecca, the character of herself, wanted to do something.
Yeah, she wanted to do it to him, but he didn't.
Now that being said, I know Lolly is usually mainly about body type now.
Mhm.
So with her being proven, we all saw the video, right, guys, that she is a Lolly character, right? Do you think it would be crazy for people on the internet to sexualize her? Though it's been proven that one, she's an adult, she's over 21 or 20, and she's a Lolly. What do you think?
I mean, she's
I'm-
already freaking over the age of over the legal age, so basically, yeah, sky's the limit. And
Okay,
yeah,
no-
I've even actually have some freaking Rule 34s of Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Right, and I asked the question because people who are typically anti-Lolly
Mhm.
would tell you it's not okay to find her, to see her sexually.
Yeah, there's still people that will argue that it's pedophilia just because of the body type, and they ignore the fact that there are actual people with that body type that need representation too. Just go with the Rebecca route. Act like a fucking adult. That's all I want.
But here's the thing: it's if she's an adult and if she's 21, you can't say she's 21, bro. She's an adult. There's
Mhm.
nothing no one can say about that. You know?
Right. So if I'm not mistaken, your stance of this situation is this: that you're not a fan of lolicon, stuff like that. However, you don't care as much if a character like.
Why are you into sexualizing this character? I mean, they could answer a multiple number of ways there, like they resonate with the character's personality kind of thing. But like I don't know. People like what they like. And I'm just not I'm not on board with censoring art no matter how much I like it or dislike it. So that argument works for the 6,000-year-old demon. What? I think the better response is okay. You know how a lot of lolly defenders will say that you're calling how is 21 fine but 6,000-year-old not fine, huh? Oh, no, what I mean, like with the 6,000-year-old dragon or demon or whatever, they're typically acting like a child. Like, they're more or less indistinguishable from children, at least in terms of character personality display, I guess. Like, fuck, what's that dragon maid Kana? That little tiny one where she's like literally 5,000 dragon? But she's always got a pacifier in her mouth. I've seen her in like a high chair kind of thing. And it's like, what? So it's a 6,000-year-old character engaging in age play constantly, which is sus. They said she was 21, so that's totally fine, though they didn't care about behavior. You guys on the video. Yeah. Like, this guy here is defending it. This guy is attacking it. And this guy is both sidesing it while defending it. Kana's form is because she's childish behavior, but is also the same age of Toru. Yeah, like, wait, the dragon's form is because of her behavior? So, like, she could pick? Or maybe it's just something weird. Like, I've never actually watched the anime. I've just seen GIFs and stuff. So maybe I didn't actually see a pacifier. I'm just, my anti-biases and stuff. Again, I haven't seen it, but I've seen what looks like treating her like a child in that. So I get the idea that that's how she acts. And like, if she does have childish behavior, I'd rather not see those kinds of characters sexualized. You just can't stop them, and it's not illegal, nor should you make art illegal. Again, how small can the titty be before the FBI kicks in the door? You can't make that definition. We're talking about childish character acting like a child, but at one point they called her 6,000-year-old, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, acts like a child, has proportions of a child, but is 6,000-year-old dragon. So it's okay. Which I am more okay with people sexualizing Rebecca than I am with people sexualizing Kana. I would say it's subjective.
Rebecca, who's obviously an adult, you're like, listen, she's an adult. She looks like she's obviously she's a short stack, but she's not a child, obviously, and she acts like she is an adult because she cursing, she's shooting guns, she's
Yeah, yeah.
That is a cop out. What do you mean? For me, it's the behavior. I'm not okay with Kana because she's acting like a child, which is what I'd like to avoid with the characters that I want to fuck. But Rebecca acts like an adult, so I could put aside my issues with petite body types to enjoy time with her, hypothetically. That's what I'm saying. Because, like, if the character is acting like a child, I'm not going to see them as something other than I would not treat them as something other than a child. Again, I haven't actually seen that Dragon Maid. It was just something I brought up because, like, I'm thinking 6,000-year-old dragon stereotype.
guns
Seen it many
blazing.
times.
Right, like you don't personally care about stuff like that. Your biggest issue are with the characters who are depicted as young children who look like they're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years
Facts.
old.
and they even say how old the character is, like 4 or 5 or 6 years old when you look them up. Yeah, that's my problem with it.
Okay, all right, so I get that. So, and honestly, I think even Anime 343, I'd say you would agree with that as well. Like, if the character is obviously younger, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they actually look like they are, and the character is being portrayed as someone who's young, it's like, nah, I can't get jiggy with that. Or you're just like, well, I don't like it, but it's art, we don't care. What do you think?
I'm actually for the latter. So if it's actually like if she's actually at a younger age, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this guy is just like he does not care whether or not they're looking like a child, acting like a child. It's all fiction, so it doesn't affect me at all. Additionally, people who have to shout from the rooftop that it's okay, she's an adult, it's totally normal for me to be attracted to her is really sus. Yeah, kinda. One is child at heart but doesn't act like child. How would that work? This was actually kind of, or Marina, that was kind of covered in my video learning about that trope, where I went over a Depressed Nosagi video regarding the lolly trope among VTubers. And there is like the naivety aspect where it can be seen as child at heart but not necessarily childlike. That said, it is at the very least sus. Especially, yeah, Becca, for the people that proclaim loudly it's okay because it's not real.
If it there are certain things that I don't like.
What about Pan from Dragon Ball? Master Anime have no problem of liking said content of that character, plus many more on Twitter. In my honest opinion, he's a P in the making, and he wrote a fan fiction. Yeah. Pan from Dragon Ball, she's explicitly prepubescent. Or super early in it, she's explicitly a minor and very, very sus to want to lewd. Yeah, they did mention Cyber Ninja. They did mention the fanfic earlier, but I haven't read it. I have no idea about it. It just sounds super duper sus.
But I'm not gonna like,
because like, what kind of person would want to write that kind of fanfic? Like, why would anyone want to write a fanfic about an underage character? Why would people want to explicitly lewd young characters. Oh, it's not actually harming children. Just why do they want to do it?
I'm not gonna knock people for actually freaking not liking it. So basically, if you actually want to get your rocks off, which goes to saying number 3, embrace your degeneracy. As long as it's legal, does not harm you or anyone else.
So let me ask you this question. Do you consider like a redo of healer, right? We know it's all mature audiences only, right? But get this. Shouldn't that actually, well, do you consider it maybe a softcore hentai or no?
Well, basically, it's borderline. So basically, even though they don't show the genitalia, but they do actually have a lot of sex in it. But it's supposed to help with the level capping for certain abilities.
Okay, so the question.
What? Level capping with certain abilities? Because it's softcore hentai? Also, it would have to do a lot with what are the emotions trying to be evoked from the thing? Is it explicitly about the plap 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 material? That's closer to pornography, hentai. Is it more about the characters? That's closer to art. I read the synopsis. I am not watching it. Wait, what? Wait, why was Redo mentioned again? Redo who? What? I am confused too. Yeah, I'm totally blanking. What are you what are you guys talking about? Redo? Why was redo mentioned? I don't know. I am confused. The fan fiction is about a 7-year-old girl in teenage and high school doing the acts. Plus, I found it weird that he went in full detail about. Yeah, why would somebody want to create such fan fiction? That's the anime they're talking about? Wait, I am confused.
Even though they don't show the genitalia, but they do actually have a lot of sex in it. But it's supposed to help with the level capping for certain abilities.
Okay, so the question was, do you think it's softcore hentai or not? Which I think it is. Like, I think that is as long as with worlds, not worlds and harem, and the other one was harem in the labyrinth of another world. I think that's
that one is softcore hentai too. Yeah,
that's softcore hentai. I'm not saying I hate it. I love these
No,
shows.
no,
I'm just
yeah,
I'm just saying that
same.
they are softcore hentai. That's what these are.
Or Ishizoka reviewers, for instance.
Right. Let's see. Chat. It says yes. It's softcore hentai. They don't really show genitals. Nobody really considers it hard. Yeah, exactly. It's not hardcore. You agree with that? It's not hardcore.
It's not hardcore.
No, not at all. There's no genitals being.
Yeah, there's a difference between hardcore and softcore. But yeah, I don't know anything about redo. What? I am so confused.
They don't even show nipples or nothing. They just show, like, you have to just use your imagination at some point, but you know what's happening. But it's like we can really tell what's happening. So it's softcore hentai. That's why if you watch the videos on my channel, I say certain animes, which I do love. I mean, I'm the king of fan service, but some of them should be on a site where you could watch it and not have to worry about heavy censorship. Like certain animes like Healer should not be on Crunchyroll.
I'll explain that, right? So I understand why Crunchyroll does that and a lot of stuff where it's like if you want to go out and buy the real version, that's what they want you to do. They want you to continue to still buy physical copies.
Yeah, DVDs,
they need to watch
right.
it on exactly Blu-rays.
Exactly. That's true. Guys in the chat, we're done with the questions, and these guys are gentlemen. They answered the question. They did go back and forth a little bit, and I respect them being as respectful as possible. So, 2 things before we log off for the day. 3 things. 1, great Q&A, great debate. That's 1. And 2, do you guys have anything you want to say to each other before we conclude the debate? Yes, no? What do you guys got?
Basically, there's something I wanted to share before we actually end this. This is actually I wanted to actually share a clip from Moist Critical.
Okay, do you want me to? What do you want me to do?
Just pull it up, because basically I just shared it in the chat.
Okay.
This is actually something that I actually really have to agree with Charlie on, because Moist Critical is actually
I wonder what Moist Critical has to say on this subject. I don't think I've ever seen a take out of what's his name, Charlie. I've never seen any of his lolicon takes. I wonder if people will mention Big Mouth. I don't know. So far, they haven't. They've just mentioned that there have just been complete defenses for doesn't matter the age of characters, sexualize them all you want because they're fictional, not real. By the way, also the queer movement is sexualizing kids. That's the real problem they're going after. They want to go after. They've talked about the queer movement. They've talked about sending links to organizations that help kids get away from abusive situations. But they don't talk about, so far, they haven't really talked about the big things about what would actually minimize child harm. And I want to see if they ever talk about it before I actually get into it. And by the way, the big things would be, addressing the Catholic Church as well as providing sexual education for people. That does massive.
So basically, yeah.
So is it this?
Right there.
Okay.
Yes.
And is it in regards to cuties?
Yeah, he does bring up animated. He does bring up the point of lolis though, but he actually said, "Why don't you just go ahead and check it out?" Like
All right, we'll watch a little bit of it and then see what we got here. All right, so let's go.
To describe how fucking baffled I am that anyone defends this movie. The fact that this has an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes tells me that everyone that left out a positive review needs to be investigated ASAP. Fucking Jeffrey Epstein's ghost has come back from the grave to pay reviewers or something to give this positive reviews. I don't get it.
I mean, I'm a trans folk that's an anti, but like I'm a little more reasonable than the typical antis.
Possible definitions, this movie is an entire movie sexualizing children.
This is actually
I understand that
in
the point of
regards
the movie is
to
supposed to
cuties.
make you uncomfortable with the subject matter of kids being sexualized. It's supposed to speak out against how it's a terrible thing, but it's so poorly conveyed that they've just ended up making a movie that hypersexualizes kids. There's so much ass shaking, so much ass touching from the girls, ass slapping, and it's just fucking disgusting. And the camera operator, I don't know who's working the camera for this movie. It must be Dan Schneider, because the camera operator's like going up each girl's ass crack, going like right up for a colonoscopy. When they spread their legs, he like fucking speed runs over there. The camera's
They had brought up like halfway through the debate that you should focus on the real problems of kids getting sexualized. And it was this dude, Mr. Anime, that had brought it up. And the guy hosting the debate, this dude, was the one that I covered the drag video about. All ages cosplay drag show. If you watch that one. Yeah, and that one said that and Dante here said that an all ages cosplay drag show was pedophilia. So, like, I don't trust. Honestly, I don't trust any of these guys' opinions on all of this stuff.
as close as possible. And again, these are actual children actresses. These aren't adults playing kids. These are actual 11, 12-year-olds. They're children doing these disgusting fucking things. One of the worst ones.
Okay, what does this video have to do with lolicon debate? Because this is about actual kids. We're talking about creepy art.
And this is, I can't even believe that this is allowed to be in the movie. There's one of the 11-year-old girls is in a tank top and panties, and then she's getting an...
Okay, I want to pause it real quick. Does it have anything to do with lolly content or anything like that?
Thank you. I can't believe Dante is the voice of reason here. Oh my god.
Just curious.
Just keep going, because he's about to bring it up here in a minute.
Okay.
exorcism where
5 minutes later.
They're throwing water on her, and she's wearing a white shirt. So it's just a fucking wet t-shirt contest where then she breaks out into a fucking twerking frenzy because they've exorcised the demon of ass shaking. So then she's just fucking twerking madly while fucking being splashed with water. It is unbelievable how anyone will try and defend this movie. Leave it to Twitter.
So let me just say something real quick, okay? Yes. Rotten Tomatoes has always been wrong about a lot of things. These are the same people that literally...
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this dude watched Cuties really, really closely.
Said that new Star Wars movie was good, including the 2016 Ghostbusters film. Rotten Tomatoes is not to be trusted on that score at all, period.
Agreed.
Literally.
I'm just gonna say, like, all three of these guys are at least reactionary. Some of them might be worse.
I totally agree. Rotten Tomatoes has been known to be very biased in regards to their critic score, so I totally agree.
Twitter to make pedophilia a political issue. I don't think anyone on any side of the political spectrum should be advocating for a movie like this to exist. It does nothing to speak out against the sexualization of children and only contributes to the problem. Let me show you a review from a YouTuber who watched this movie, and let me show you what their takeaway was.
Oh my god, this is a debate reacting to a video react with another. Oh my god, it's just going so deep. My defense is the stature is usually a point of contention. People usually stay away if combined with innocence, whereas an innocent adult or an adult-mannered shorty is given lewd art. Well, Rule 34, everything is going to get sexualized sooner or later. Fucking 9/11 was sexualized. God, I need to have more water. Find the timestamp? Yeah, like, God. The last stuff I saw, this person's super chats, I didn't like them, but I agree here. Find the find the timestamp. We weren't doing the deep reacts, Riley. I know. React content bad. But, like, I'm gonna say this. In my defense, this is an hour and 15, and my video right now is currently 2.5 hours. I've also been playing the video at 1.25 speed this entire time. Holy shit, this is a 2.5 hour video. I fucking hate this topic.
And they're pretty hot.
What?
You know, you can say whatever you want about me.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. I didn't make them do that. They did that.
That person literally just admitted to being attracted to physical children. Like literal children. You can't blame me for that because those kids are sexy. Yeah, I can kind of blame you for that. I can blame you for saying that publicly on video, showing your face.
That's weird.
That's the point. That's the whole point of the movie, is that you're supposed to be sitting there thinking, look at the blonde one. You're supposed to be sitting there holding these two thoughts in your head, and one, that these are kids, and the other, that they're hot.
That's the message that people are walking away from the movie with. Pedophiles with the biggest smile on their face, pumping their fists in the air. Thanks, Netflix.
No, so let me be real right now. This movie should have never been made, including the female from France that made it. She should have never made this at all.
Right.
Okay,
I am
according to
streaming
Cerno,
late.
he says 555 is where he mentions
That guy over describing cuties absolutely rubbed one out. Oh, 100%. You can't deny it. Like 12 of them during the first time he saw. Hey, Townback. Don't know if you really want to jump in on this. We've been talking about lolicon for the last 2.5 hours. Why did I agree to go over this? This is painful.
anime.
Okay, because I was asking like where exactly. We're not even close to 5:55. just so you know, we're like on the 3-minute mark. But okay, I'll go there. And let's go.
Truly fucking abhorrent. And for some fucking reason, Twitter being the cesspool that it is somehow brings anime into this, talking about, well, why is cutie such a big deal when anime has kids being sexualized? Well, first of all, anime is fake. Those like children lolly things, those fucking 900-year-old vampires that look like they're 4 years old, the little cum demons that have existed for 2 millennia, but they look like a 6-year-old, those aren't real people. They are animated fake things. These are actual 11 and 12-year-old girls that are subjected to this hypersexualization in this movie that the director has forced upon them. That's very different. This is real world versus totally fucking made up, drawn characters. It's not even comparable. If this movie wanted to deliver this message, and it is a good message, don't sexualize kids, fucking obviously, they should have had adult actresses portraying younger characters. It's how every other production does it when they handle a subject matter as sensitive as this. They don't take real children and sexualize them. But yeah, anyway, this movie is worse than you probably even imagined.
So this video basically had nothing to do with talking about cuties had literally nothing to do with fucking that guy who looks like Asmongold. Wait, Charlie? Moist Critical? Penguins Zero? Or this guy? This guy's been fucking defending it easily. I don't know who is actually a defender and stuff, but what did that actually have to do with it? Besides, here, look at somebody else we can point at is sexualizing children. They could have just jumped to that part. I know, but the dude's... I was fucking joking when I said 5 minutes later, the lolicon, he looks just like Asmon. Not really. He's a white guy with a beard. Asmon doesn't have long hair. No, the guy in the middle of the screen who looks... Charlie. Moist Critical. Not surprised face. I'm just gonna say, Becca. They're white guys with beards. Charlie basically said it's weird, but it isn't pedophilia. Yeah, it's not literally about... It's okay, Becca. I'm not impugning your character. Admitted Robo, a lot of anime content doesn't help his cause. What? Okay, Cyber Ninja, if you can link it to me, I will go over it. I think YouTube is pissy about links. Wait, top message. Oh my god. I've been monitoring chat with top messages this entire time instead of all. But Cyber Ninja, if you can link that to me, please do, because I have no idea where that debate is. Becca's fine. Asmongold only cuts his hair because he can smell his hair. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Dude makes a lot of money though.
It's fucking deplorable. That's about
Okay,
it.
get killed.
It's a YouTube channel called The Manic Mechanic. Okay. I will try to remember to look that up.
Kill it now, Dante.
Oh, I'm gonna drop a like real quick on that. That was interesting. Okay, I will agree. That last part, I gotta say, I don't see a flaw in that statement. Don't get me wrong. I still understand that.
It was literally just the same point that Mr. Anime has said this entire time, which is a point that I already agree with. But now it's somebody with a fuckload of subscribers also saying it, so that means it's really real.
There are people who are always going to find opposition to lolicons and lolly content, and listen, it's your right to dislike it. Okay, I totally agree. But here's why I do not lose sleep over it. Whether it's lollies, lolicons, lolitas, I don't care what you want to call it, right? At the end of the day, they're not real. So I would rather put my attention and my energy into real life people, real life kids who are being trafficked, who are being assaulted, who are being abused by the disgusting world that we live in. And
he says, Dante says that, but like, he also thinks that all ages drag shows are contributing to the sexualization of children. Like, come on. Mine only slightly breaks Geneva Convention.
He is right.
Same.
And Cuties, I think we all of us on the panel agree, and even in the chat, that Cuties was a trash movie. That's why Cuties has like an 18 or 50% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Because the audience are just like, bro, what the hell is this trash? It's just nonsense.
It's just
Yeah,
it's
and guess
literally
what?
just the critics like literally saying it like no freaking audience score likes that movie at all.
Right. I totally agree. We all can agree on the panel that
Now, Cuties getting taken off of Netflix doesn't solve the problem either. Oh my god. You want to stop kids from being abused? Teach them what that abuse is. Teach them what the abuse is so that they can say, hey, that's been happening to me, so that we can stop it. Taking a movie off of Netflix, yes, it should be taken off. It should never have been made. But it's not what we really need to focus on. We need to focus on the church that really, really abuses people. We need to focus on providing proper education to kids. No one watched Cuties more than people who are supposedly against pedos. I do not get it. Hey, El Perito. I don't speak Spanish. But, hello. I've only heard about it from, like, hardcore right-wingers. Literally, yeah. Like, honestly, I didn't hear about this movie until now. And, like, Becca, what do you know about The Sound of Freedom? Because, like, I've never actually watched it. I haven't actually looked into it. I've just known that it's been endorsed by all the wrong people, at least in my opinion. And these guys cited it as a good thing. So I don't fucking know. I do know, given the context clues, Erica, that's what I had assumed. I do know that, like, none of these people I would consider progressive. They're all reactionary conservatives. Yeah, I had assumed you'd know about it. Ah,
That was a trash movie. And
Yeah.
but I do want to take one takeaway. I do want to have us leave us with before we all end with this. And by the way, thank you guys for showing up and being awesome people on this Q&A. Is that I think we all should be able to live and, like, listen, if you like lolly content, sure. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's my stance. You don't have to like what I say. But lolly is not real. That's why I don't go crazy over it, and I don't think I ever will. But I have seen some things that are lolly.
it's a right-wing fantasy movie about a hero who saves children from traffickers. The guy who made it, it's a huge conspiracy. Liberals literally drink baby blood, dude. Oh, that sounds reasonable. Sound of Freedom was made before QAnon was a thing, but was shelved until what's his face got the rights from Disney. Huh. But it's not a real event, it's just dramatized. Like, honestly, they've been talking about child trafficking, but honestly, the child abuse that happens in this world, majority is not trafficking. It's people of power that know the child abusing that child and the power they have over them. That's the big problem, not some vague traffickers that go after kids. Like, the world's big enough. That does happen. It's not the biggest problem regarding CSA. No, I am Canadian and I don't even speak French. I just speak English. Sorry. No habla español.
That's considered lolly. I'm just like, yeah, what is this? what are we doing here? You're pushing a little bit. But I go to sleep the same way I go to sleep every day, not giving a fuck. Okay, so because they're not real. But with that being said, guys, I want to give you guys an opportunity to give your final thoughts, not just to me, but to the people who are watching you guys, because you guys have pulled a great audience. The people in the chat have said you guys are respectful. They like what's going on. Debate sounds great. And me personally, you guys did. I couldn't ask for anything better. You guys are freaking awesome. So I'm gonna go with Digital Overlord. And by the way, guys, subscribe.
Why was Hollywood so desperate to get that movie to fail? Sound of Freedom? I don't think they were desperate to get that movie to fail. They were desperate to try and get that movie off the ground. Didn't they, like, buy out a bunch of tickets in theaters to bump up the numbers? Or am I thinking of a different movie? Yeah, I'm from Canada. Hey, I know another Canadian too.
Subscribe to Digital Overlord. Digital, final thoughts. What do you got?
Yeah, so basically, like I said before, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And, at the end of the day, bro, we're going through some real life stuff right now, like in America, with the
Yes.
election coming out. So I suggest for people that don't like you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought I had heard. There were people. There were like the studio themselves had bought out entire showings and like desperately handed out, um, tickets, but then nobody just went and saw it. Uh yeah, succubus. Mostly because of the feminine stuff, but yeah, succubus. Somebody has called me a dragon, but they're a fucking gremlin, so I don't care. Speaking of which, I love you, Vivi. Keep making your videos. If you ever see this clip,
You know who? Go out there and vote. Because I never voted in my entire life, and I'm considering it. you know. But yeah, that's just how I see it, in my opinion. And also, go support The Sound of Freedom. Go see that movie. You'll like
no,
it.
no.
Well, she's gonna need to wait because I'm almost finished.
I respect that.
You want to know about systemic or epistemic kidnapping problems? Just watch Taken. That is totally, totally documentary.
And I did see Sound of Freedom, and I agree with Digital. Guys, I'm not political. You guys know how it gets down this channel.
Yeah, the anti-lolly is the one that just said go watch Sound of Freedom, and the both sides debate host just endorsed that. None of that addresses the real problems.
But that was a great fucking movie. Go watch it, okay? Go support the movie. I left there stunned, and I was like, why do people hate it so much? And I'm not even political like that, but I was just literally flabbergasted as to why people hate it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, okay? He's right. Thank you, Digital. Mr. Anime, final thoughts.
No problem.
Well, basically, all I can say is this. Basically, if the lolis are not based off of real people, which is a line that should not be crossed, basically, and we don't actually condone any harm of actual kids that should not be sexualized in any shape or form possible. I don't care if you actually are, like, a conservative, a liberal, or anything of the like. If you actually harm kids, you're a freaking scumbag. And also, I gotta say, basically, loli is fictional content because, we actually need to actually protect what we hold dear.
Okay, interesting final thoughts. And
Interesting take for someone that doesn't fucking speak out against the Catholic Church. Doesn't talk about sexual education.
guys, that is the end of today's debate. Please, to the gentleman who actually showed up, Digital and Mr. Anime 343, I know you guys are expecting a lot of backlash from the chat, and you guys got decent positives to mixed reviews. They in general, it was a great chat, great debate. You guys
That's
awesome.
one
you
opinion.
for, giving me your time to show up and debate. And
Yeah, no problem, bro. Thank you for having me. I left my channel down below, so if anyone wants this up, you're all welcome to.
yes,
Right?
and
No,
guys,
thank
help
you.
these guys grow their channels. Please subscribe to Digital Overlord, subscribe to Mr. Anime 343, subscribe to my channel as well. I'm gonna try and have more debates in the future with different people as well to get an opportunity to debate and talk, and hopefully it won't be chaotic at all like this one. But we all know that's not gonna happen probably. But either way, guys, thanks for tuning in. You guys are
Okay,
awesome.
yeah, they're done. They're done. That was so painful. Like they're grandstanding so much about where I'm helping real victims by providing links and descriptions that nobody checks instead of actually talking about ways to actually lessen the damage of CSA. Was that a reference to the 14 words? I honestly don't know. Oh my god, Joe, you stuck around with that. Holy fuck. Yeah, that. Wow. I didn't. I expected it to take a while. I didn't expect it to take me almost 3 goddamn hours to get through an hour and 20 minutes of people talking about art. If you knew someone who openly displayed lolicon hentai in their room by images statuses, would you allow them to be alone with children? Yeah, that's a good question. Like, I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't want anybody that has like hentai of any size up in their room to watch over kids. But yeah, like if you ask them that one, they would be like, it'd be pretty on the spot. Would you trust them around kids? Would they make it about the sexual side of things? Would they admit that there's a connection to the media we consume and how we live our lives? We don't really know. Frankly, I don't really want to cover debate review very much. I much rather prefer to just talk about it myself directly with somebody on stream. I wouldn't trust anyone near my child at all, regardless of background. Not alone in a room, just in general. Yeah, like I'd be kind of sus. I wouldn't want them. Certainly, no closed doors. I certainly wouldn't want them to be around kids. But also, I don't even want kids, so that's me. Do you go by Carmesi or El Perito? Because like I honestly don't know what you're saying. Oh my god. But yeah, to reiterate, it is art. We can't. I don't think we should legislate it. What's moral? What's immoral? Regarding that. That said, I think we can culturally push back against it. Morning, Kudere fanboy. I would probably not be friends with someone who is a proud lolicon, to be honest. I wouldn't trust them, or I couldn't trust them. Yeah, I get that. It's like the people that explicitly defend it and then put elementary school teacher in their bio. Like, yeah, I'm going to totally trust you around kids. I don't care if you've actually ever done anything. Wait, Becca, you speak Spanish? Yeah, I'm like, it's art. We can't regulate it, unfortunately, but we can certainly culturally push back against it, like saying, if you're proud of it, I don't want you around my kids. Though I'm also a childless trans sex worker, so like nobody's really going to take my opinion seriously on that one. God, I'm only loosely a sex worker these days. Yeah, it's a joke to troll aunties, but like for real, let's say you have a kid and then you find out the babysitter is one of those people on Twitter. Would you actually trust your children around somebody that's like elementary school teacher when they are being called pedos because of the stuff they like? It's a joke by them, but it's such a crass joke, and they're not making themselves look any better by doing that. Do you think there's pro-rape people who call people into consensual sex antis? I don't even know about that. How much were your services? $20 a pick. I'll make whatever. As long as it's not specific fetishes that I am not a fan of. I just haven't really been into making it lately, but I do have quite a bit of art out there already. Not Spanish, Latin. I am so confused. I would prefer if people just spoke English, please. Yeah, but $20 a scene plus what specific fetishes? Goro, scat, water sports, lolly, that stuff. I'll do furries though. That I was actually surprised didn't come up because like a lot of people that are defending lolly will be like, oh, when people hear sex worker, they just think prostitute, but there is actually a very wide variety of sex work that you can produce. If it's lewd audio ASMRs, if it's images, if it's hentai, if it's fan fiction, if you're producing that sexual content, it requires work to produce that. So, ergo, sex work is actually a little more broad than people expect. So, like, hentai artists are sex workers. I'm a demon. That's all I will say to that. You can sort of see my wings. And one of my succubus marks. No, I'm not saying that you can't have art of your character because obviously there are, and I am aware this is your body type, Erica, but like there are people that need that representation. I'm just saying that it's explicitly extra sus when people have or use that body type for sexualizing characters that are specifically acting and treated as minors. That's where it becomes a problem. With you, Erica, honestly, you're pretty mature. Yes, I actually have wings and a tail. But frankly, yeah, I might be willing to. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I understand that there are people that have legit have that body type. And frankly, a lot of lolly VTubers do somewhat get a pass from me because the majority of lolly VTubers, that is their literal body type. There are quite a few. And like, how can I really be? I have another one around the pelvis. It's actually a different mark and has different effect. How can I really be progressive if I don't allow people to have proper representation of their body type? I can't go around body shaming people over it. I can go, however, go around shaming the people that are like, this anime character is 6 years old, but I'm going to jack off to it and it's totally okay because it's only fiction. Nope, it doesn't matter. I will shame those people. But like, I don't really know any lolly VTubers that explicitly label themselves as like underage characters. They just kind of have that aesthetic. Also, yeah, to show off the wings. Wings and a tail. Alrighty, thanks for popping by, Becca. Yeah, I think stream's going to be wrapping up. A donut, that is your gagito? What? No, not a dragon. Succubus. Sex demon. I have... You know what, I'll end the video with this. Succubus marks, because it gets brought up a few bit. fair often, but people don't actually recognize that I have multiple. And if you look into my art that I've made, you will be able to see both of my marks. If you look closely, there is quite a few different kinds of succubi marks. Though, yeah, these are specifically for succubi. I think there are ones for incubus, but the one you see on my chest is this one, pheromone, which, with the effect, any man within 30 meters will become aroused and attracted to her. The closer she gets, the stronger it gets. Pretty straightforward. That's the one you always see on my chest. The one you don't see right above where you typically would see that mark, but it's hidden by my skirt, is this one, Mind Melt. Every time she orgasms, one memory will be erased. For every orgasm, she will experience stronger arousal. So, like, it's a lot of fun for me. I'm just going to say that. And that concludes my lore section. Okay. Yeah, okay. Final wrap up thoughts, and then I'm actually done stream for now because, oh my god, this has been painfully long. To reiterate, posting links in your description doesn't really help much. It's a virtue signal as far as I'm concerned. You're not talking about the broader solutions of what could actually reduce child abuse in this world. The big thing, monitoring the goddamn Catholic Church. A big part, I would also say, would be taxing them because, oh my god, those guys should be taxed. They're involving themselves in politics, but they're remaining tax-free? Yeah, no. That's not how it's going to work. I'm glad you're here checking things out. I do hope auto-translate subtitles work. But yes, you want to stop child abuse? You want to minimize it? You get, you give them sexual education so that they know what's happening to them. Obviously, you don't go into like the same kind of depth you would go into when talking to an adult. You temper the subject to the age of the person you're teaching. But everybody should know good touch, bad touch, and what consent is in regards of whether or not people can actually touch you. That would be the big thing, not explicitly saying this sex act is a bad thing. No, you talk a little more broadly about the areas and say, if people touch you there, you tell somebody you trust. That's the big thing. That is what'll get more of those cases reported so that they can be arrested and it can stop, ideally. We want to minimize the harm. To minimize the harm, it's not going to be stopped by talking about anime online. Fuck's sakes. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.